and welcome back to Scav Talk, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Tarkov news. We have for you this week kind of a light week, which is great because we got to talk about Arc Raiders. There was a playtest this weekend, or sort of like a server slam infrastructure testing. So they open it up for everyone to play. And yeah, we're probably going to be spending a lot of time talking about that, our experience, thoughts, and community feedback and such.
Yes, I would imagine so, because it was good, and I managed to get to play it this time. But before that, we'll just whiz through the Tarkov things that have come. There's a few bits. We won't spend too long on that. The first section is the arena balancing changes are important because we're still in this like ongoing debate about inertia and how inertia should feel in the base game and yada yada, right? And it seems quite clear that BSG are not aligning the two games in this respect. And they patched this 3.4.1 patch, which had some interesting things in it. So adjusted the character control system, added a slight delay when performing consecutive jumps, and reduced the jump strength. Further adjusted the character leading speed while moving and for a short time after fully stopping. Increased the general character inertia strength by 10%, so more inertia. Reduced the default strength skill from 30 to 20. And then they did like a bunch of random class stuff that we don't really care about particularly, and tweaked the audio system slightly. Now, the the thing about this is that, we went from normal Tarkov feel to no inertia arena, and everybody was like, hooray, this is awesome. And then they were just like, hey, we've patched it so that there's more inertia now again. And it's just, I don't know. I don't understand why. And everybody was just so confused, like didn't understand what they were doing. And then they posted another patch the day after. New balancing changes in arena. Returned the character inertia to the way it was before. Returned the strength level skill to 30. Reduced the consecutive jump strength penalty, and slightly reduced the leaning strength penalty whilst moving. And everyone was just like, hooray! Like, what? What kind of feedback? What? I don't understand. Like, the arena patch came through, and everybody who was playing arena is just like, well, questions about the base game aside, this feels awesome in arena, let's go. And then it's just like, well, based on the feedback, we're just going to like annoy everybody. And then they put it all back again the following day after everybody complained. So it's very odd. Honestly, it's very, very weird. I don't really get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't really get it.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it, right? Like, they tried to tweak it back, and everybody was basically like, nah, you shouldn't do that. This is a bad idea.
Where is that? Because I thought when I clicked on the link, it looked like it was the same, but maybe I'm just going...
The first one I put in our thing is the original one, which was...
Right, okay.
The patch notes.
Oh, yeah, return...
No, the very first link, the very first one.
Yeah.
There's like two that are very similar. There you go.
I
That's
see
the
what
one.
I did wrong. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that was it. So this is all the adjustments that they did. And I think there was something written about it. Where did they actually write on here? They wrote somewhere that... Where was it? Was there something about player feedback? I'm not even sure. Because I know that they did this feedback survey, right? That was the one that they did the week before, where they said, we've got this feedback survey now available in the launcher. The survey focuses on gathering player feedback following this, patch 3.4. Your feedback will help us make more informed decisions. And then they were just like, oh yeah, we're going to make it worse again. I'm just like, I can't believe that anybody said that it was like bad or needed balancing. I just don't have any words for it, really. Oh, it's that one. Yes, you're right. It's on the patch notes itself. We've carefully analysed the player feedback and prepared a set of initial changes. And everyone's just like, lame, as soon as they did it. And they basically reverted it like the day after. It just blows my mind. It baffles me. Surely people would not... I know that there were some people that quibbling about the fact that now the two games are different. I think that's the thing. That's maybe the main criticism. But it's not that like the arena movement feels bad. It's just like, oh, it's kind of a shame that they're different, even though the arena movement does feel good. If they're not going to do that in base EFT or come to some kind of middle ground even, then it makes it kind of hard to use arena as practice. Like, it's still close enough that it's kind of fine, but yeah, it's weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that friendly guy at this point, surely BSG just rage baiting. Like it is insane. It is truly insane. So they put that back for what it's worth. I don't know. It's
Huh.
just mad. Um, Other than
Interesting.
that, we've had a few bits and pieces here and there. There was some boss plans which are relevant for 1.0 coming out, which is kind of cool. If you go up to Nikita's original post on the 18th, he basically said, on release, the boss chance will be around 75%, and
Oh.
their loot or gear will be nerfed for the sake of the early game, and then their typical loot will slowly be returned back. Okay. And everybody was basically just like, yeah, this is cool. Airing, he replied to Airing, and he said, that'll work great. Is there any way to make the gear a little bit more RNG rather than just making the beefed up scavs? And Nikita said it'll be randomized. So, cool. You know? It's cool.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like
I
that.
suggested this. I think Airing suggested this. I think a lot of people suggested this. There's a few different ways you can go about it, but if they want to do locked maps and bosses and whatnot, like they need to think about it a bit in terms of gear.
Yeah.
We said this before. You can't just put together farmable with his tier 6 plate and a class 5 visor on level 1. Oh, sorry, on day 1. It just is.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Like it should be a step up. It could be a step up, sure, but it's just it's just insane. So I mean, 75% is pretty good as well. It means you're gonna overwhelmingly you will meet them, which is kind of cool, but not every time. So you don't always know they're there. It's like it's a good middle ground.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
a, it's
anywhere
a,
in that region, 50 to 80-ish, I think it's fine.
yeah, it's a fairly high number,
Oh,
but
you're
I mean
muted by
it.
the way.
Oh,
Your classic hotkey.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's a fairly high number, but it's the fact that it's the gear is reduced, and yeah, because I mean, what we used to start the wipe with like 3% boss spawn chance or something, which was
Yeah, you just didn't
awful.
see them.
Because like you take out all the thrill of getting all this good stuff. It's like they had the right idea, but like the value was so low that like you just never saw them in the early wipe, which would
Yeah.
be it'd be great to fight them and get their gear and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll see how this
So that's good.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. There was a interview at Tokyo with Nikita. I originally thought I missed over this. I literally just watched this for a minute before the cast because it's like a 5-minute video. I thought this was going to be the long one that he did with the crowd because that was
Mm.
posted originally by Trent, which was just like off his phone or something. And I thought, oh, maybe this is the official one. So I actually saw it and then didn't have time to look at it, and I just assumed that it was that one, but it was actually something slightly different. Not much in there, given that it's so quick, really. But again, Nikita reiterated, not everyone will be able to escape from Tarkov, but basically the missions and the quests are intentionally challenging. That there's going to be 4 different endings, supposedly, and the best one will be a lifetime achievement. That's pretty much what he's saying. And then once the release is done, then BSG are going to do some more deals. They're going to do some DLCs, starting with the Scav Life one. There's going to be events coming and maybe even new locations. He mentions a console version as well, and other games related to Tarkov in early development. I mean, we might have seen that board game one last time that has got something to do with it. I don't know. Can you imagine? Yeah, like a PC tabletop type game, it's like on PC, but it's like a tabletop game. That'd be like kind of cool. So they've got some stuff cooking, I think. We will see what they end up doing. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are clearly worried about Tarkov's like future after 1.0, and I think I am too. But it's one of those things where if Nikita does what he says, which is keep supporting the game, I don't think it'll really make that much difference. What we're playing now, yeah, we'll have this is going to be the story patch. It's just they're calling that 1.0, and then after they're going to still have 6 monthly wipes, so they said, and still going to be adding content and doing things for at least a few years. So we'll see. Maybe it'll just be the same basically, and the wipe cycle allows Tarkov as the first one really with this kind of thing to still create excitement around the wipes. People will still come back for it, I think, because other games with wipes have kind of struggled to make people want to grind for it and then go, oh, I've got to wipe progress. Like I'm already playing EFT. Some people have gone to other games and lent into the wipe cycle, but you kind of have to. They demand so much time from you that you only really are able to do one. And Tarkov's just got such a developed community and such a strong, long-term, long-suffering player base. It's hard to prize away. So we'll see. The other stuff that he said, the whole team is focusing on polishing the game before release. So there's no big pre-release events planned at the moment, but post-launch they're going to do they're going to do some stuff, battle pass, unique arena modes, and use arena as testing for new gameplay, which is funny. They're two separate betas, you know. They're PvE beta for AI and their arena beta for movement, so they could feed that into the true beta, the one true beta.
Oh
The
my
inception
God.
levels of beta the Battlesave created is pretty insane. So yes, that's what Nikita said at Tokyo. So nothing really that new in particular, but he just keeps talking about how he's, they're going to keep supporting it. Did post a few clips of various things, some new weapons and rigs and stuff like that. There's some pictures of PMCs doing funny stuff, people playing different locations, some like really scuffed models that are being built in Unity in the engine. I don't think there's anything too game changing or insane in these videos particularly. I don't think. That one's pretty good. Nikita himself has stated that the softcore changes are coming in PvE at some point soon. Although, given that, so on this Wednesday, the release will be. Oh, actually, no, sorry. So the release is on the 15th, actually. So yes, we've got like 1 week. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, it's basically like 3 weeks away. Given it's 3 weeks away, I think some PvE people are just like, can we play this for like more than 4 days before 1.0 hits, you know?
Yeah.
So soon, it's a proper soon TM. It's quite funny. There was a post. Do you plan on doing something that isn't useless for the game? Hardcore is useless. Softcore is useless. Every change you've made to this wipe has been useless. The game is completely different to how it was 6 months ago. Nobody likes it. And Nikita's written, we're making 1.0. We're making 1.0 for fuck's sake. All right, what was this one? Some kind of godly AR-15 type thing. I don't even know what this is.
Looks like
some new parts. It's got like the Hera Arms CQR. Dude, I thought when it popped up on my timeline, I thought it was Arena Breakout. Just because of the sort of shiny plasticness to the shot. You know, the lighting.
Is there new parts? Which part's new?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The handguard, maybe?
Speculation. Because I was
I don't really know. I'm not sure.
I was looking at him just like, which parts? I mean, yeah, I don't. The one part of the gun that I can probably never tell is new or not is the upper receiver. You know.
Yeah, that is hard to know.
But to me, everything looks fairly.
Do we have that handguard? That's an Aeronox handguard. Do we have that one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's one of the handguards that's like, you know, useless. It's an aesthetic handguard.
At least you can put a foregrip on it. I always get excited by those ones where it goes like, oh, look at the ergo on this thing. And it's like, oh, it doesn't actually take a vertical foregrip. Like, damn, like it's got to be like +8 over the next best one for me to even consider it, you know, if it's not going to take a vertical foregrip, you know, because you can put the shift grip on this stuff or whatever, the SI Cobra. God, that's a Freudian slip from before they rebalanced the vertical foregrips down. Shift hasn't been meta for years. Yeah, so new stuff. Nikita just, you know, spooging over some gun parts. And apparently they have deleted 8,000 cheaters for the game since the 26th of September. So that's about a month-ish. When was that? 17th? Yeah, so in 3 weeks. So that's, you know, that is what it is, whether that makes any difference or not. But Nikita has teased on the back of this post.
Oh.
Preparing something special for the cheater scum.
Oh.
So we will see. There's been some interesting responses on this. There's some interesting responses on this thing. 10 years later, when the servers are empty, they're going to start working on the anti-cheat. Just fuck off and never come again. It's Nikita's answer. It's so funny. Yeah, when are we getting server-side anti-cheat based on our stats? It may not prevent cheaters, but it does place a cap on how far they can go. We've had this for years already, he says. Please say hardware bans. We have this for years already. I swear I've been hearing this since I stopped playing 2022. Then you need to come back on release. What were you laughing at? Which one?
Clicks the dog clicker. Very good, Nikita. Good, Nikita. Rubs belly, gives treats. Good boy, Nikita.
Some people talking about secure TPM boot. I don't know whether they'll do that because they lock out some old people's hardware. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what this means.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just an update. They don't usually talk about it, so we'll see. I mean, I don't know. If they could do something, it'd be cool. But
for sure.
Everyone's hopes are up, and expectations are low. You know, as usual.
Are you hoping for the PlaySafe ID? Is that in the back of your mind at all?
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if they were talking to BSG because I don't think that's necessarily like low hanging fruit. But I don't know. If it could be, it'd be pretty insane, right?
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if they're the first people. It just seems like not somebody that would go for it like out of the gate. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're gonna do a test. Like, we're gonna be the first people to integrate this thing ever. Yes, the spaghetti factory would like to have a word.
The spaghetti.
Because nothing has ever gone wrong when BSG have tried to integrate, two games together or merge databases or whatever it is they might try to do. I mean, the last time they tried to do something minor, I ended up with 50 endurance. So, it's certainly something. I mean, we used to complain about getting no stat progression between the two games. They were desynchronized and they wouldn't work. And then last time there was stat progression. It was just 100 times what it should have been.
Yeah.
My hideout management went to 51 inexplicably for no reason. It's got absolutely nothing to do with Arena. How did that even happen? So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be nice, but I don't have my hopes up for it just because I can't imagine it's that very easy for them to integrate it. They can't even integrate their own games together.
Stop, Kickle. It's already dead. You shot down everyone's dreams and hopes in one instant. And now you're just stomping on its grave.
It's something special, though.
The spaghetti factory.
Yeah, I know exactly. You tried to log into the API and just pasta starts coming out of your disk drive.
Oh my god. Yeah, if Nikita ever retires, he can probably have a very successful side hustle for an Italian restaurant, just making pasta and noodle.
Yep. Exactly. So that's a whistle-stop tour through all of the Tarkov stuff. There's not much else to talk about at this point, I wouldn't say. Went through most of Nikita's replies to various salty people already as part of the other threads. So he's been fairly vocal, telling people to, go away and never come back, and you're an idiot and whatnot, which is always good. But yeah, in the meanwhile, they also had a big server outage, I think, too. And understandably, the comments were just like, "Don't worry about it, guys. Take your time. Everyone's playing Arc Raiders. It's fine.
Oh my god!
Don't worry about it."
Why are they gonna do it like that?
Not entirely untrue.
Of
course,
would say. Yeah.
Not entirely untrue. So, Arc Raiders, the game that has been captivating the interest of the extraction shooter community, had their very final test before the release of the game, which is going to be on the 30th of October. It was running from the 17th through to the 19th into the late hours, I think, actually. Or maybe it was even this morning, my time, when the playtest finally finished. So they did 3 days. It was supposed to be a server slam, and they were just getting as many people in as they can. It's basically a stress test for them, I guess, to prepare for the release and seeing exactly how much load they could take. I actually didn't see any issues. So I think they maybe went down one time or something, but it seems like they're relatively well prepared for it, to be honest with you. Also, I think because it's sort of been a long time coming and people played the first one, and then also, which we'll get into, the fact that this one seems, well, it was quite capped in terms of the progression. I think people popped in, played it a bit at the start, and then kind of went there's actually not much else here, and maybe we'll just hop out and wait for 1.0. So compared to some other I guess launch stuff. It wasn't that many players, right? Comparatively.
Oh, how
If I
so?
just put it up, well, I mean, it is a lot. But if I just look at the Arc Raiders playtest on Steam charts, I think the the full peak for this thing was 187,000 players, which is obviously a good number of people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just Steam as well. So there's some caveats to this, but 187,000 people. It's not like the I mean, how much did Helldivers have when that was going through its like crazy cycle? Let me have a look. Like when that actually came out in the first place, it was like an insane number. Like 458,000. So it was like 3 times the number, I think. But I mean, look, it's still a good number of players for Arc Raiders, and that's just PC. So one thing that I would mention is that's just Steam. The second part is that the way that it got rolled out was a bit weird. They said everybody could go in and play for free over the weekend, but Steam seemed to be rolling people out. If you were already in the previous playtest, you seem to just be able to go into your library and just download it. Whereas if you
Yeah, that was my
weren't in it,
case.
then you got I don't know, you couldn't necessarily download it straight away, and they were like rolling out across all Steam users to be able to download it like over a few hours. So a lot of people actually ended up going to Epic Games Store because it was this. You could also get it there, and they seem to just have it open for everybody. So I don't know exactly how real these numbers are, even for PC players, because a lot of people ended up playing it on EGS because it was there
Right.
straight away, and they didn't want to wait a few hours to get in on the Steam side of
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
And then you've also got to remember that this is a multi-platform game as well. A
yeah.
bit, I mean, Helldivers was also the same, so you could make the same caveat for that game too.
Sure.
But it's on PlayStation and on Xbox as well, and that's not captured here either. So you're talking probably somewhere around 500,000 people, I would imagine. Whereas Helldivers was more. I think Helldivers was like 1 million concurrent. I think they went over 1 million.
Wow.
When they were talking about it at the time, and they weren't expecting it, and they actually did have issues. Like it was hard to get into Helldivers when it was
Yeah, I
like
remember
full on
that.
hype mode. Whereas Arc Raiders seemed to work pretty well, and it's not as bigger genre with audience capture that as Helldivers is. Helldivers is like technically or an extraction shooter technically, right, but it doesn't play like
Sure.
that. It's PvE. It's like dick about with your mates kind of game, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this being extraction shooter and PvP, it's like slightly smaller player base, but even still, it's impressive numbers, which is pretty cool. So yeah, other than a bit of Steam glitchiness and people moving over to EGS, it seemed to work nicely. That wasn't even anything to do with the game; that was just to do with the rollout. So in terms of the tech test itself, I think they probably did. They probably did achieve their goals, I would guess. Seeing exactly how many concurrent players they can actually support, and fixing any issues that they had. So outside of that, what were your impressions of the second one? Because I didn't get to play much of the first one, so this
Yeah.
was like me playing for the first time, really. And with the capped progression, which is crazy. I'm like kind of going back now and looking back at what people did like 5 months ago to be like, oh yeah, you could do all this other stuff in the original test. But what were your thoughts playing it second time? How many hours did you put in this time around? In the end,
Let's take a look at total hours here. Oh, I uninstalled it, didn't I?
yeah,
Let's see. I wonder if it's still in my library. Yes.
should be
10-ish hours.
okay.
Cause yeah, I mean, the previous playtest I had like 22 or 20, somewhere in that
Yeah.
range. So kind of similar, honestly. Just kind of surprising because I felt like I didn't really put a whole lot of time. There wasn't that much to play. Like on the previous one, I played with a group of buddies after like the first couple of days, and I mean there was like 2 to 3 different maps outside the starter one. You could do multiple upgrades in your hideout. A lot more quests. So it was different because this one they had a lot of features that were like heavily kneecapped, and it would be like
Mm-hmm.
available when on full release or something, and it's just like you couldn't click on the button or it was like disabled. Um, which I think for me, I mean, here's the thing: it's a 3-day playtest. The average person probably wasn't going to get that far to begin with.
Yeah.
It is a weekend test, but whatever. But I kind of like how they did it in a way because it's like literally if you exist, you can go and play this right now on the weekend. You got 3 days to do it. It doesn't cost you a dime. It like maybe at like the day the servers were rolling out, maybe it cost you a little bit of your time to like fiddle with the Steam server and Epic Games. But other than that, like it's basically as painless as possible. You don't have to like worry about getting a code or like, hey, can you invite me and send me a code? Like it's just you just play it, which I really appreciate because the release is in 10 days, so you're basically gonna
Yep.
like you're getting a preview of the game you would presumably buy, which is I think it's $40 right now. Like that's and I've seen some discourse about that, and I don't know, tongue in cheek, I'm just like, what do gamers want, Giga? What do gamers want? It's like we can't also complain about free to play games on microtransactions and then complain about games asking for like $40 and like are good. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like it, then don't don't like no one's forcing your hand to buy it. Like it's okay. Like
Mm.
I don't know. I don't understand some of the discourse I've seen around this. It's like, oh, why isn't this free to play? I was like, man, just just I'm gonna raid your loot. Is all I know. Like, give me your corpse. I'm looting you.
Yeah. I did actually read something from because I think originally they said it was going to be free to play like ages ago, didn't they? And then eventually they
Okay.
changed their mind and said, I think like a long time ago, and then they said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, actually, we're going to make it a. It's not like full premium, right? It's like well, I
Yeah.
can't remember what you call that. What's that intermediate level? There's a word for it in game sales speak
Mm-hmm.
language or whatever, but not BF, but more like the Helldivers model. Um, and yeah, like here it's £30 in the UK,
Oh
which
yeah,
is like
that's
again
great.
like very reasonable, I think,
You're not
for
getting
what it
screwed
is.
over with the pricing.
Yeah, yeah, that's the joy of Steam. And then
Oh
the
yeah.
like one of the game designer guys I think was talking about it, and was someone from the studio anyway, just being like, we are happy that we're making a paid for product because we feel
Mm.
like we can put more time into the experience rather than trying to like funnel people into cosmetics and microtransactions to
Yeah.
fund the game. Like
Yeah.
we're not having to like lean into that kind of dark path to monetize it. So we can just kind of like make the game that we want to make. People pay for the game, and then that's kind of like yeah, there'll probably be other stuff afterwards. But it's like
Yeah.
we're not like starting in a hole and having to make it
Exactly.
back and like funnel people into microtransactions like right from the word go, which
Yeah.
might undermine like the vision of the actual game itself. Um, which is it's good, I think.
There's nothing
I think it's
worse.
fine, especially given it's a small price. Like Helldivers was great like that, and Helldivers had paid Warbond stuff afterwards too. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it's sort of like opt in rather than like, well, we kind of need to force every player. Like the opening screen has to look like a mobile game, kind of like buy this battle pass premium currency, and
Yeah.
it's like all over the top of you as soon as you load it up. Like I'm so put off by that these days.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like here's the thing, it's like when if you want to compare it to something like a marathon, then like in my opinion, like Marathon just didn't look I didn't get to play it, but it didn't look good for what they were asking, $40. You know what I mean? So like
Mm,
but the fact that I've played this multiple times now and like I love it, it's like it's such a no-brainer for me to drop $40 on it cuz even if the game like let's say a year from now it's dead. Like I mean this they would have to seriously screw something up for this to be the case. Like this is easily going to be like bare minimum 4 years, I would imagine. Maybe more. Like I don't even know. But my point is I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
if I enjoy it, which I do, I just like I don't know. I just think it's kind of like unfortunate that people are like harping on this, and I just feel like, and it's just like I would love to pay $40 for more AAA types of games experiences like this, you know, and yeah, you can
Yeah.
of course do all the retention and microtransaction stuff, but like That's fine. I get it. But yeah, it's just cool. So onto like the actual impressions. I mean, there was new enemy types. Like I'm watching my VOD currently now, and I'm sharing it, and I didn't remember this ball type thing that like jumped up and latched on your head, exploded. Like that was new. I mean, there was a few different changes. I think the one that got me the most was the tumbleweeds. So there's like
Yeah.
these tumbleweeds in the background, and your brain like, your predator vision locks onto, and you're like, oh my god, it's freaking player. He's they're rolling, they're rolling. It's like, oh, it's just a tumbleweed. It's just so it's such a troll move. It's like straight out of the BSG playbook. I swear, but there's a few minor changes, but overall, it's just like I don't know. I think my favorite aspects about this game, like pros for me, would be fighting the bots slash AI slash drones, like um, and that in combination with how like fragile and like vulnerable you feel. Not just
Mm.
players, but like these bots are like scary to go up against. You know what I mean? Like even like the
A
middle, like
lot of
the hornets that shoot like the little stinger that
yeah.
electrifies you. Like those guys are super annoying, and they're like the enemy type of they're not like the starter enemy type, but you know what I mean. They're not quite like fearsome like a eight-legged robot drone firing lava at you or something.
Yeah. They're like the one up. Yeah, because you start with you start fighting the wasps, right? They're like the basic one. Well, the three basic mobs, I guess. You've got the snitch, which is just a
Mm-hmm.
sentry, which has no guns,
Yeah.
but it does just have like a sensor on it, like the long range sensor. And then you've got the wasp, which has got it's basically just a quadcopter with like a light little SMG on it, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the hornet, which has got the protected rotors and the like taser thing that gets you. But I think like there's one thing that's just genius about the way that the game works in that respect, from a game design perspective, is that because the AI is not humans,
Mm-hmm.
you have so much more creative scope to do what you want with with the enemies. And we've seen that in a few other games recently, actually, because there was that other game, what's the name,
Decay.
Active Matter,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where
Yeah.
where you were up against like the sort of like supernatural kind of enemies. And so that's like one way to solve it, but I mean, I like it anyway, just because of the environment. So I like the world. I like that kind of world, that
Mm-hmm.
dystopian sort of, and the bots are great, and the fact that the basic enemies fly is like really interesting and different, just a bit different. It sort of puts it
Yeah.
in a, and like the more I thought, because I've thought about it quite a bit since finishing this playtest, where, as I said, I spent most of my time in this game in this latest playtest, because I simply didn't have time last time. I think I played an hour and 20 minutes or something, like literally
Mm-hmm.
just go in, shoot some bots, and like leave through the gate. That was like pretty much it. I
Yeah.
have like 14 hours in now, so I played like 12 hours of this playtest, and it's just like the way the game plays out, the atmosphere that it produces, it feels something akin. It's weird trying to describe it, and everybody's going to have their own like lens on how they see this, but it feels like something akin to a cross between like Helldivers
Mm-hmm.
and like Metal Gear in some weird
Yeah.
way
I
to
could see
me,
that. I
because
could see
it's,
that.
do you know what I mean? Because like because Helldivers has that thing where you're like roaming around the map and you can see packs of enemies moving about,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of up to you whether you engage or not, or whether you move around, and like you're sort of tactically changing what you're doing depending on that. And in EFT you have that a little bit, but you don't really have that much. It's like, oh, there's a scav there, I'll just kill it and then like move through the area.
Right.
Whereas in this, like you can do that as well, but silencers are not really like every gun is loud pretty much. Like you can get a
Yeah.
suppressor, it is possible, but it's usually for the guns that literally like plink, and they're only really good against players, not really against the bots. So you're
And they
like, well,
take
if I take them
longer
on,
to actually like
y-
defeat and eliminate.
yeah, it takes a while to fight them. It's just like I'm going to signpost to everyone on the map, like, and I
Mm-hmm.
find myself, especially playing solo, which again we'll come on to,
Mm-hmm.
where you're like looking at the enemy layout and going, okay, well, I'm going to go this way and I have to path dynamically. And even though I only played the one map because it was the only one that was unlocked in this test, it felt different every time. You spawn in a different place, the bots are in different positions. It's like almost like moving around them as they're like doing the sentry thing, because they've got that sort of scanner type. I don't even know. Now, what is it? It's like it's some kind of indicator to show you that they're scanning, right? It's like
Almost like their
their little
vision.
beam thing. Yeah, like their
Yeah.
vision cone, which you can sort of see, but works really well for a bot. Would look really weird as unless you had like cyborg enemies.
Mm-hmm.
It just wouldn't thematically work.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
works so well with it being bots, right? Because like, oh, they've got a laser scanner type thing, which you can see like a little.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sort of fog effect almost thing, and it's just like your brain's just like, yeah, this totally makes sense. Like this is fine. So you kind of like, it's sort of like part stealth, part part shooting, part logistics, whatever. And then the bots themselves are no joke and are interesting to fight because they've got weak spots that aren't, humanity obviously is just like in the head, but with the drones it's like we have to shoot out the rotor. Like the first time you play against, you just shoot center of mass and it just doesn't do anything. You have to shoot out the rotors, and then the hornets we were talking about before have got like the two front rotors are protected but the two back ones aren't, so you can blow through the front ones but it takes a lot longer. But if you can get an angle on the rear rotors, you can blow those off much more easily and take them down. It's like kind of, yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. So having the flex on that AI, and those are just like the three basic ones, right? The one that spots you, the one that machine guns you, and the one that tases you and is slightly more armored. Those are just the three basic ones. Then you've got the other things like there's like the four-legged spider one, the leaper, which I've seen lots of clips of, like jumping across. Somebody goes doink and like plinks it from 100 meters away, and it like leaps across the whole map, and everyone's just like like turns around screaming, like perfectly cut screams, and the clip just ends. That kind of thing, all the way up to the massive queen, which is protecting the harvester thing on the special event. There was an event called the harvester event, which was appearing on the map near the dam, and there's some unusual collection device called the harvester, some sort of triangular thing with 3 holes at each corner, which is doing something, which is another thing that I like. Not wanting to tangent too much, but the fact that like we're humanity trying to survive, like we don't even know really what's happened. Like what even is that thing? What is it harvesting? It's like harvesting something from the surface and sending rocket loads of resources up, and it's protected by this huge queen spider bot. And when we played, because we actually played on Saturday with one of my mods, Easy 8 as well, we played a 3-man, and he convinced us to go and have a look at it, and we went inside, and you managed to keep guard outside and like keep it occupied while we tried to complete the puzzle inside to like go and take the stuff. It was like really, really cool experience. Actually really, really cool. So yeah, the AI goes from just being like annoying, trying to move around the map, like not getting attracting too much attention either from the bots or from the players, all the way up to like the mega boss type things. It's cool. There's a lot of scope for doing interesting things, and there's scope for kind of like storytelling as well in there, because like we don't really know much lore about Arc Raiders yet either. I don't think they've released any lore about like what actually happened, like what's going on. I like quickly looked around the Reddit, and there was like people talking about lots of different things, like the bot's been sent down by some like elite power to like get rid of everyone so people can start again. Like are they actually being controlled by some other group of humans somewhere along the line, like higher up in the maybe they're up in orbit or something. I don't even know. People even making allusions across to the finals, where I don't know if it's written explicitly, but there's potentially links between the two worlds, so they might not be necessarily in the same time zone or the timeline, but they're like maybe the same universe, maybe, because Embark also made the finals,
right?
And in there's some chat about like people uploading their consciousnesses up to the cloud and stuff. So like maybe something bad happened. I don't know. Like there's people speculating about the lore already, and I think it's cool because I love this kind of universe. It reminds me, if anyone wants to see a movie, and a very good movie, which has sort of got very similar aesthetic, it's a Tom Cruise film called Oblivion, which is a very good film. I like sci-fi stuff. It's really the only films I gravitate towards mainly, and series I gravitate towards is sci-fi ones, and Oblivion, as it reminded me of it almost straight away. It's kind of like the surface is kind of like roboticized and whatever, and the bots kind of look similar-ish. Like there's a lot of same tones in there, so it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I love the world. But yeah, anyway, the AI it's just one reason why some people actually don't like it very much, but it's just kind of personal taste. But I think they're interesting. It gives them a lot more scope as we go along to do more interesting things. It's not just adding more humans,
Yeah.
You can only do so much with that.
Yeah, I just appreciate the gameplay loop fighting them. Like it just feels I like the scrappy nature, because even your like weapons and such are like not, like the stock standard assault rifle. You have to like manually load 2 rounds at a time or something when you reload it, and it's just like it's fully automatic, or is it single fire? I don't even remember.
The Rattler is fully automatic. That's the 2 round loading
Okay,
one, right? The
okay, okay.
Pharaoh is the Pharaoh's the break action one, and this
Mm-hmm.
is also cool. It's like now this smacks me of like Hunt Showdown. Like the gunplay is a lot more like Hunt than it is EFT. You're not going to make
Yeah,
a Meta M4
yeah,
and
yeah,
like be
yeah,
beaming the other raiders.
yeah.
That's not really how it works. It's like the full auto stuff typically comes with some downside somewhere. It's either like small mag or not much damage or high recoil or something. The powerful round or the powerful guns end up being a lot of the time end up being the single fire ones, or
Mm-hmm.
ones that they're semi-automatic with like that do a lot of damage. One that was like particularly insane, the Anvil, which is like the huge revolver thing, which I know people have said to me, yeah, this was kind of seemed a bit OP in the previous playtests and is
Mm-hmm.
still breaking pretty good in this one. I had my best moment using that thing because there's another one called the Pharaoh, which is like the break action long rifle, which
Yeah.
uses the same rounds, is good, but yeah, you get like one shot and then you have to. It's a bit like Mosin Man, right?
Yeah, pretty
Whereas the
much.
Anvil, you get your six, and like yeah, it has to resettle, but
Mm-hmm.
it's certainly it's a bit like using the Arsha 12 revolver.
Yeah, yeah, no, it does good. And then it has the coolest running animation. You just like have the revolver
Yeah.
down behind you slightly to you look like your Naruto running. It's my favorite. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I like
So yeah, the weapons are certainly interesting.
yeah, I like that. I like the other one that comes to mind is the kettle, because like it even like from a design like aesthetic point of view, like they because they look like they're like barely sci-fi, but like very grounded in reality, but also like scrapped together pieces. Like the kettle looks like they
Hmm.
took like a gas tank, and used that to like fuel whatever projectile rounds are coming out of it. And you literally like take out the gas tank and reload with it. Like it's so wild. But it looks
Yeah,
cool.
it
I
looks a
like
bit
it.
airsoft to me,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, yeah,
like
or like an
paintball, more like actually.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um
I thought it
yeah.
was a flamethrower when I first saw it.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Because the big tank, I was just like, oh yeah, this must be a
Yeah.
flamer. And then I was like, oh no, it's like the Saiga 9. Oh no, this is terrible. Literally went from like up in the top of my estimations down to like, oh no, it's like single fire with the weakest ammo. I was like, oh god, just got like flashbacks to Saiga 9 coming back. But that was the only gun I found a suppressor for, incidentally. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something to this actually. I don't know whether the suppressor helps. I died with it, obviously,
Mm.
but not many guns seem to actually give you one.
Yeah. Well, you can loot one, but they're kind of rare. Like I was able to get one on a Ferrero, which was nice, but I died of it eventually, as all things go.
Oh, you can
Um
get one for the Mosini type gun.
yeah, well they're universal. It's just like a muzzle
Are
device.
they? Because
I
some of
believe
them
so, yeah.
only go on like certain weapons. I thought maybe the
So
suppressor's universal. I don't know.
yeah, well, I mean, if as far as I'm aware, if it has like a muzzle, so there's like the only uniqueness is like shotguns, because they instead of like a muzzle device, they have a shotgun choke. So the shotgun
Mm-hmm.
shotgun choke's good for that. Um, but yeah, unless I mean I don't, what do I know? I'm only
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
not sure either. No,
yeah,
we
I
haven't
don't
got
know.
far enough in to know. But it does seem like the progression in terms of the weapons. So the weapons are kind of interesting because you can buy them from the shop, but most of the game is revolved around crafting stuff, finding things, and building your own things with them. And it's not annoying because you get quite a lot of basic materials. You get some kind of just automatically for free from. I don't like the bizarre design choice of having the chicken be the station where you get the stuff for free in like the workbench. I don't know what that's about, but it's kind of funny. But anyway, they give you like some basic materials, and out of those you usually craft like I think you can craft pretty much all the basic weapons, the sort of
Mm-hmm.
common level weapons with those
Mm-hmm.
pieces, and that makes you a level 1 gun. And the guns go, it seems, from level 1 to level 4. So for something like it doesn't seem to increase the damage on any of them, I don't believe, but it does utility stuff. So it'll either be reduce recoil maybe, or it'll be for the break action rifle, it'll be like faster reload time, so you can fire more quickly between shots, things like that. So it's like do I want to use some more of my resources to build myself a better weapon? There's almost like that progression in the gun itself. It's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could just bring it in as a level 1, or I could upgrade it all to a level 4 because it's going to be my PvP gun. Like I was doing at one point, bringing in one gun which was really intended for my PvP, and
Okay.
then the other weapon I just have like a level 1 Pharaoh just for killing the bots.
Yeah.
Was sort of the idea that I was kind of going with because it was so cheap to bring it. It's just like, it's like kind of like bringing like an MP18 with you, with some BT in it. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
you'll have that just in case, and have two, which does mean you can't take another weapon out. But I mean, if it's something super cheap, you could always just throw it on the floor, and replace it with something good if you find it, which is kind of interesting. But like, I like the way the game wants you to craft pretty much everything. Like I was looking in the shop, and it seemed from the things I looked at, it was roughly so you could go into the raid and you can grab items and then you can sell them and then you can buy things from the shop. From the stuff that I looked at, it was approximately 3 times more expensive to do it that way, to go through the the transmogrification medium that is money and credits, than it was to do it with actual parts. So if you sold the parts and bought a gun with the parts, then it'd be 3 times more expensive than it was just making the gun with the parts. Obviously, to make the gun, you have to have the parts, the specific pieces that you need to actually make it. But because the basic resources are pretty plentiful, that's not too big of a deal. And the crafting is instantaneous. So there's no timing, there's no waiting, there's none of that stuff. So if you have the stuff for it, you can just make it, which is cool. Then you seem to be able to, you seem to have to get, like the whole progression seems based around getting blueprints for the better things. So you'll then be able to craft like higher level stuff. But what really engages me and engaged my kind of like Tarkov economy crafting Factorio automation resources brain, the piece that like I saw of it and was just kind of like, tell me more. It's the fact that every item seems to be rather than just random, right? Like in most games, you like the items they're just items. Like in Tarkov's sort of the same. The items in Tarkov are sort of linked together by coincidence through the bartering system and that kind of thing, and through the flea market because of cash and whatnot, and because of hideout upgrades. But in Arc Raiders, every item is part of like a big tech tree of items.
Yeah,
which is really interesting, and the items are like linked fundamentally together because you can say like, rubber parts is one basic common item. It's like the bottom of the tree. You've got like rubber parts, metal parts, plastic parts, whatever. And then the step up from that, you will have like maybe wires. But when you get back to your base, you can actually do this in Raid 2, but when you get back to your base, you can recycle the wires, and that will give you, maybe I can't remember what it is, but it may give you like 2 rubber parts and 2 metal parts, something along those lines. And so the wires are like made up of 2 other things. And then if you loot like a power cable, that might recycle into wires, which then obviously in turn recycle into rubber parts and metal parts. It's like everything's in this like big tree of pieces that like that go like down the tree, and presumably once you've got the blueprints, back up the tree when you can like recraft them up into higher things later. Because I think you're able to do that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you're able to do that because it was so limited. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like that's really intriguing to me because there's also the in-raid crafting system, which is awesome, and you can make stuff like. And I was a little annoyed that it was kind of hidden away. So there's also this. I keep just like and another thing, and another thing, and another thing. So before we talk about that, we have to talk about the character sort of skill tree sort of thing. What would you even call that? It's like an ARPG kind
like
of like
skill tree
type thing. There's 3 branches, and on the survival branch, 3 steps down it, if you put 1 point in, another point in, and then the 3rd point down this one particular branch, you unlock the crafting system in Raid. So you can make yourself bandages out of fabric. You can make yourself shield regenerators out of the stuff that you get out of the little drone bot guys.
Battery.
Yeah, like whatever it's called. Which incidentally also have cool uses even if you're not using the crafting system, like the little arc like driver battery, whatever it's called, like those things that you get out, the power supply. You can already charge your shield with those automatic, like they're like usable items in game, which is like kind of neat. But then even outside of that, you can combine them together with other things. And so then knowing which things recycle into what is actually quite useful because it's like, well, I can't remember. I did actually start writing down, and I was like, actually, I can't be bothered because this is probably written somewhere else. But having a good working knowledge of like what breaks down into what means you can kind of make yourself like shield recharges and stuff on the fly. And if you're like, well, I need this or I'm going to die. You break down wires or a processor or something into the things that you need to then be able to craft the things that you need to survive. It'd be like, picking up a bunch of like pile of meds and I don't even know, like a fleece in Raid in Tarkov, and then like being able to craft that into a Salewa,
Yeah.
in Raid.
Yeah.
But you could get fleece out of like some other thing that you're like dismantling. You're like, oh, I
Right.
can't even like what would even be a good example of this
Like
now? It'd be
armor.
something like, I don't know. Yeah, like you find like a piece of armor, and you're just like, oh, I kind of would like to keep this armor, but like I'm going to die otherwise, so I'll dismantle it into the fabric and I'll combine that with another thing that I've got, and then I can make myself, a new like regenerator thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, like I think there's just some really cool scope for that kind of thing, like make yourself more grenades in Raid and like knowing what disassembles into what, and then getting the blueprints, building stuff back up. There's like I can see there's a lot of knowledge there in the whole crafting system, and even when you're looting, like what you actually want to take sort of depends on what you need. Sometimes you're stuck for like mid-level things. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you don't even need the high-level thing for a while. So you go, well, I actually just want mechanical parts. That was the one thing I got stuck on for ages because I couldn't
Yeah.
repair any of the like medium tier guns, which are the only ones that we were able to unlock, like the anvil I talked about with the revolver. You need mechanical parts, but some of the higher level things did dismantle into mechanical parts in the end. It turned out, so it's like, oh, I could actually get rid of those and turn those into these things, which I can then use to do the thing I want. I was like, man, there's actually a lot. There's a lot to this. It's like the items don't. They're not random. They're not just like linked together. Oh, well, this barters for that, so therefore these two prices and these things are the same. Like in EF2,
Yeah.
it's like
It's
everything's in this big tree, and there's a lot of scope for that to be kind of neat. So I really did like that. I really did like
yeah.
that.
I think that's probably one of the like I don't know, top 3, top 5 aspects of the game is like the looting system. Like the fact that like as you say, things aren't just like attached to a price value. It's like they actually have utility in the raid a lot of times. No,
Mm,
not always, but um, like especially the parts you get off the arc enemies, those will have like some sort of utility, but they're often used for like quest or like hideout upgrades, from what I recall. So it's I don't there's an interesting thing there, but like the crafting side is just like technically speaking, anything you loot you can disassemble in raid down to like its base components. I mean, you get a lot less value than if you were to like recycle it in the hideout, so to speak. You get more if you do it that way. So you have to like make a choice like, oh, do I take these wires that, I could go back and sell, I could go back to my hideout and keep them and use them for something else, or I could break them down right now. Or maybe I have a craft that takes wires. I don't know the limitations, but maybe I break them down now to like plastic parts so I can, use that to make a shield regenerator thing in the future. It's just and it help me right now in this instant. But doing that is actually not beneficial economy in the long term. It's like, you know what I mean? You're
mm,
making a trade-off here. And I find that really satisfying. Like there's even a part of my brain that wants to like stay in the raid and like just fully med max the like breaking down the stuff to like stack a bunch of wires and stuff. It's like, oh, speaker, I'll disassemble that, take the wires, put in the wire stack, and just like keep going. And it's like I really enjoy the looting side. I think it's probably like one of the stronger aspects. And I've been like keeping an eye a little bit on the comments here and there. And I think for me, if I feel like the easiest way to kind of like I don't know, maybe like wrap it, put a bow on it is like when you get if you're like a Tarkov main, like well I like this game. It's like I feel like if you enjoy scavving, but in the sense of not in the sense of I'm gonna scav and make a bunch of money, but like I'm gonna scav and just like see what happens type of vibe. Um and like just really like immerse yourself in that role. I feel like you're gonna enjoy this game because for me that's everything. It's like I feel I am not the main protagonist in this game. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not
yeah, yeah,
I'm not going in with like dual wield ARs destroying all the players and everything. It's like I'm heckin' scared, man. Like I see a bot and like I'm kind of running. You know what I mean? Like it's and I get the Metal Gear Solid vibes because like the third person sure like it feels very like stealthy. But I really enjoy the movement system. I saw some people saying it felt clunky. Like, I don't know. I mean, it, it's hard to say because some of this stuff is like, for example, like you can, if you have a stamina bar, if your stamina runs completely out, you can still like sprint, I think. I know you can definitely dodge roll, but your dodge roll is like super slow compared to like if you actually have the stamina to do it, which I
Mm.
still like because it's like, like in Tarkov, if you're out of stamina, like you just can't. You just like nothing works. Like here, like at least you get to do something, but it's so bad. It's like and you're doubling down on doing the bad thing because now you're not regenerating stamina because you just ate the
Yeah.
null stamina that would have regenerated. So like it's really bad, but like it's there if you need it. But if you're caught out, like you're still gonna die there. So I don't know. I really enjoy the gameplay. Like everything to me is just like wow. They really get. I think another good example is that Rilo video when the game was like had that first play test. I can't remember. It was the thumbnail was like they weaponized fear or something. It was like a giant arc spider thing on the thumbnail. I didn't actually watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail and like I got everything that I needed out of it, you know? But it's like, yeah, it's just like I feel like I'm in just constant, you know, fear. I am not the main protagonist. I am like struggling to survive here. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It is good. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, there's like the interesting. I just wanted to finish off the thing about the looting you were saying about how it
Mm-hmm.
is. It is. I did find myself in a situation a few times where, and I didn't know enough about it to be able to figure out on the fly what it was yet. Just hadn't had enough practice yet. But you do find yourself because the loot system is slot based as opposed to like space based, right? So like Tarkov is like space and weight. So things take up a certain number of, well, they're a certain shape, and then there's the weight on top of that. Well, Upgraders is like different to that, right? Because it's slots and weight rather than space and weight. So you're incentivized to stack more of the same type of thing on top of each other than you are
Mm-hmm.
taking lots of disparate things. In Tarkov, you're incentivized to take lots of high value one slot items, really. In this
Yes,
game, you're
yes.
incentivized to take, if you have like two bolts in Tarkov, they take up two separate spaces. If you have two wires in Arc Raiders, they both take up one space.
Yep.
So I ended up in a situation quite a few times where I was just like, oh, I quite like some of the things that I've got. They're like kind of cool things, whatever. It's like, maybe a processor or an arc, like, whatever it might be. But I've got one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them. They're all take up individual slots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, like, what do these recycle down to? Like, if I could get, the same parts out of a few of these things, I could like nest this stuff down.
Exactly, yeah.
Or even if you've already, like, you say you're full and you go to loot something and you go, oh, this thing's appeared, I can't take it, but I don't actually have a full stack of whatever it might be, and I know that thing breaks down into electronic components, for example, and they're kind of useful. I can break the thing down. Like, yeah, it's not as good as doing it out of raid, but I'm full. I can't take it anyway. So I may as well just like break it down. You can do that to other people's guns too. You can like break down other people's guns in raid and take like the
Yeah.
mechanical parts out of them and stuff, which is
Yeah.
like, oh, that's actually like kind of cool. Like if you're not going to take, because some of the guns are really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, I'm actually just going to like strip it down and like turn it into bits for the time being, which is kind of insane. But yeah, it's like economy aside, which I think we'll just sort of see how that goes. I mean, I guess my final word on it is that the progression system for that seems to be, and we talked about this a bit. So you've got the common weapons, and then you've got the like, because it goes in the the common and then like green, uncommon. It's the usual thing, right? So like green and blue, and then purple, and then is there gold? I don't even know.
Probably, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
orange or whatever it is. Probably legendary on top of the rare stuff. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
there's gonna be red and then magenta, yeah.
So something like that. Something like that. And anyway, so you like kind of have your starting guns, then you've got the ones that are a bit better in green, and then as you start moving up into the higher tiers, those weapons seem to be more related to killing Ark than they are killing players. And this, like, we talked about this on when we were playing together, right? And it like smacked a lot of the cycle, because Ark is like a very different enemy type to like a player. A player's got health and shields, so Ark has got like Ark plating, and they're like big spider bots and whatever. So you need, it's almost like, as you were saying, we've got like these scrapped together guns. Some of them are okay for fighting like the little bots, but for fighting the big bots, you need something with a bit more punch, and you end up kind of going up the value chain of weaponry to fight Ark, but bootstrapping yourself up through the spoils from taking the Ark robot parts, right? Because it's like, so we did that crazy harvester thing, which was amazing, right? That was an amazing thing to do. Like only a few hours in, I was like, wow, this is sick. And on that run, we got like a bunch of different bits, and I ended up with some energy ammo. You couldn't, because of the caps on the game, you couldn't actually use it for any stuff. We basically got 2 different blueprints out of there for 2 of the like big guns, one called the Jupiter, another one called the Equalizer, I think. They both took energy ammo and needed like high level parts to create. But that's like, you're almost like taking the arc stuff and then using the like, you know, the robot tech to build yourself something to like beat the robots more easily, kind of thing, which seems to be the progression itself for the economy. But yeah, it's just like, there's just lots about it that I think is like cool, and they can make, you know, lots of different fun events that, you know, you go and do, and like either easier or harder depending on what you need to do, and like how you work up that chain to get to the top level things. I do worry a little bit about the end game in terms of like progression and what to do with that a little bit. And I've said quite openly that I don't know whether this is a 100-hour game or a 1,000+ hour game. I actually am not sure. There's quite a few good games that I played that are 100-hour games to me. I played Darktide for a while. That game was really fun. This was after they did all the patches, so they kind of fixed the game a lot, and it was good fun. And I played that for about 100 hours, and then I've just kind of had enough of that game loop, and I don't play it now. And that's fine. That's okay. And the same thing with Helldivers. I played 150 hours of Helldivers, I think, and then I'm just like probably not going to go back to it. Like I'm just kind of done with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I wonder whether this is going to be like, I think this is at least that level. And yeah, there'll be some people that play it forever, right? But like in the main, are people going to just like pick it up for, you know, a couple of months and then we'll play with the mates, whatever, and then put it back down? Or is it going to continue to be compelling enough to want to play for, you know, a long period of time? I think they've got the possibility to do it, but how they execute on that is kind of the question.
Yeah. No, I feel similarly. Like, yeah, I think you said everything there I would have said as far as what type of players, or, you know, not what type of players, but,
yeah,
you know, some people are going to really latch onto it versus others. And the potential's there for it to be, you know, very long game.
Now, there is one thing that makes me hopeful about it, which is the utility and the way that the fights go down. Because I feel like Tarkov a lot of the time obviously has its longevity for other reasons. But a lot of the time, the fighting in Tarkov, I find the end game fighting is a bit just like, you know, it's just hundreds and to thousands of hours of map knowledge stacking up on top of each other as to who ends up winning in one scenario or another, or who gets, you know, who's got the slightly better gear or the gun that suits the situation slightly better, or whoever just gets the drop on someone else first and you just die instantly because you don't even see them, kind of thing. And there's not that much outside of just nades. There's not really that much utility in EFT, where we don't really do much stuff other than just movement, map knowledge, you know, a couple of nades here and there, a bit of stim stuff. Outside of that's not really that much. Arc Raiders has a lot, and I can see the potential for the skill cap or the skill ceiling to be really quite high in Arc Raiders because of all of the things and the tools that they give you to do stuff. I'm like looking through like reams of items being like, what does this do? Like, what the hell does this thing do? They've got like, it's like the basic stuff from like instant pop smoke grenades to like little impact grenades, like bigger, you know, blasting grenades. There's like ones that kind of stun people. There's the grenades where you can throw them and they like outline people for 20 seconds. It's almost like wall hacks for 20 seconds on arc bots or whatever. Then you've got like all the crazy movement stuff. You've got like zip wires you can dynamically place onto the map. There's just like door bar jammer things, so you people can't come through after you, and you know, you can block off entrances and things, which also reminds me about how like you could probably break through those, but again, like with the looting, there's more risk reward there because the looting is really, really loud purposefully, right? You have to basically like, most of the crates you have to like crowbar them open, and it's like viciously, obnoxiously loud, so everyone can hear it. So it's like a thing of like, do I actually want to loot here? Like in the high value play, I can hear somebody. Do I want to be looting? You know, in Tarkov, most of the looting is relatively quiet. You can be heard. Filing cabinets in particular quite noisy, but in Arc Raiders it really is like next level. But yeah, all the utility is pretty good. And there was a comment in chat, and I kind of wanted to address some of these things because they are important. About we'll talk about like the flare. So there's so there's a flare that you can get. So the mechanic in Arc Raiders is when a raider gets knocked down, because there is a knockdown system and a you know, rezzing system. When a raider gets knocked down, they fire a red flare off into the sky, and there's like an SOS, you know, Morse code that plays, and you're knocked down. But it's like, you know, it's supposed to be some, I don't know, I guess if you're on your own, it's how you get back to some lore thing about how you get back down. They come rescue you or whatever it might be. And so anyway, this flare goes off. So if you're in solos, it matters a bit less, except for third parties. You kill somebody else and they go down. There's nobody to res them. You technically could res them yourself, actually, because I think you can get up enemies, but there's no one to res them, and then that's just kind of the end. But the flare goes off, and so other than third parties coming in, which happens in EFT as well with gunshots, then there's not really much more to it. However, there is an item. It's just so clever having these things in the game, like to build on that system. Because like some people are like, oh, what about the flare? Like, is that good? Like, should you know if you've killed the enemy or whatever? But there's an item in the game that you can bring in, which is it is that flare. So somebody could like throw a nade at you. For example, they say you've had a big firefight and like they think you're low and they throw a nade. You can like get your flare out and shoot it off, and then wait, and then they come around the corner and like, I'm still alive, psych. It's like. Just like the little things like that, the potential for the outplay to use all the tools available. Obviously, it requires some foresight. Like maybe you'd find one and have it in the raid as well. But it's just like, just the fact that exists is so cool. Now, if you're playing as a 3, I do think, I mean, it's sort of unavoidable with these kind of games, especially if you have a mechanic that flags when somebody goes down. If you have a 3 and you see the flare, you get one of them down. I think usually that's kind of like the sign for a pylon, right? Because it's like 2v3, usually have the numbers advantage. But with the existence of the flare like beacon thing, you never quite know.
Yeah,
it's not like they could just be debating you into like running in and they're all in cover and they're all still alive. So I think the fact that they've got an item in there, most people aren't going to use it most of the time, but I think it's probably one of the stronger tools, actually. Yeah, and the potential's there. And again, in high level PvP, you probably will find people using it quite a lot because it's one of the biggest tells, right? Is like having someone go down with the flare thing. So if you can obfuscate that information and confuse it and like mislead them or whatever, that's actually kind of neat. So they're like, okay, here's a mechanic that shows you how this thing has happened. And then here's another tool that we've given you to allow you to, circumvent this thing and to maybe use it to your advantage. It's like really, really cool. And that is what maybe makes me a bit more positive about Arc Raiders compared to some other games, is that there's so much utility and there's so many things that you could potentially do with the stuff that you've got to change the course of a fight or to play a bit differently or, to outplay people. It's interesting. I want to see what people come up with. People are going to be creative with these things, I'm sure.
I was just going to say, that saying that where it's like limitations breed creativity or something like that. Forget what it is. I was just thinking like, if because there's so many tools in the game, like if you're struggling, it's like they have just like a catalog of things for you to try, and you just need to be creative. Like one of the things I did, I got it was a mine. It was a stun mine or like shock mine, and I read the description because there was another. I think it was one of the arc wasp drives or something. Like you throw it, and like apparently it's supposed to stun people, but like it's only 0.5 for people, but it's much longer against arc. But I threw it and it just like landed on the ground like a brick. I don't know. I didn't really understand it. But anyways, going back to the mine. It's a stun mine. I read it. It's like it stuns rage for 4 seconds. Like, wow, that's a long time. Like, what can I do with this? And I was like, oh my god, I want to go to the extract and put it right on the button so it gets stuck there. Unfortunately, I didn't get anyone, but it was still like it was there. You know what I mean? And like you can.
Yeah.
What's really cool about it, this and also the flare, which I'll jump back to, but you can deploy it, and then it sets, and then let's say it doesn't work out, you can go over there and like pick it up, like dismantle it basically, and then put it back in your inventory, and then go and try again somewhere else. So it's really, I really enjoy. Yeah, I think the like utility side, everything, like there's so much there. And with the flare, like what I was thinking, well, so how it works is it's actually something you have to deploy. It's like it's got a little bit of a range.
Flare thing.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a range to it where you can like screw it onto the surface or whatever. But then you have like you can switch back to it, and you have like a button press you can do, so you can shoot it remotely.
Oh,
so
you can shoot it from wherever you want.
Yeah, so you could like set up somewhere fire it off, and then someone just like, "Oh, players, there's someone went down. Let's go third party that." And it's like it's a trap.
Oh, that's even cooler. I didn't actually get to use one.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. What else is there that's cool
Man, that's
utility
awesome.
wise? There's that wand thing that. So there's a
I was just looking at that.
yeah, there's like a wand you can. I mean, it looks like a phone with like a metal wire coat
A
hanger.
coat hanger
Yeah.
sticking out the top.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And it plays like a tone, like a signal tone. And you just like hold it up in the air and it basically cloaks you from arc. And it's so cool. It has like a battery life, so like you could just walk through and you're basically invisible. I think that was super cool. Um God, yeah, there's I haven't even really messed with the door locks yet. I did mess with the barricade. That was new this time around. There's like a deployable barricade, which was like I
Hmm.
don't know, it's kind of interesting. It might work in for caught in the open. But the other side of that is like you have all these different things, but most of the time you have like 4 to 5 slots. So there's like a real like strategy deck building. It's like what do I bring in my kit? It's like I'm gonna want something to heal
Yeah.
my shields with, my health. It's like, okay, what's my utility? It's like, do I want to deal with like juggling my inventory in and out? It's there's a lot to it. I feel like the amount of depth there, and the other thing we tried was the glow sticks, which that was new too, and those really did illuminate the dark areas because you have a flashlight you can
Inside, it
turn
can be
on.
quite dark. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like a dynamic lighting exposure system, kind of like the finals. Finals has something similar, where like if you're inside a dark room looking out into like the bright light, your eyes aren't really adjusting. It's everything's bloomed and like blown
Hmm.
out, sort of. And then if you're like outside looking into a dark room, into the room's like pitch black. So there is like a very cool lighting aspect to that, and I do like it. Feels good. Um, yeah, I was gonna say something else, but I
That's
forgot.
awesome. Yeah, I was just like looking through, just seeing which ones. What you got? Like, yeah, you got like the zip line, like we said. Um, you can like deploy those. There's like zip lines already on the map,
Yeah,
and then
verticality. That was another thing you had said, which is rings true with like the map design. There's a lot of like verticality because the maps feel very big. I mean, there was like a smaller map, but it was like Paris style buildings. Just I don't even
hmm,
know what I'm saying, but it was just a lot of buildings or rooftops you would run across. But it was a smaller map. Um,
okay,
Whereas like yeah, I mean most of the other maps are very big. Big set pieces and lots of verticality to it, which feels good. I like that.
yeah. I mean, the scale of it is quite a lot more than most of the other games I played, Tarkov included.
Yeah.
In that you can be very, very high up, right? You can be up on tops of roofs of extremely tall buildings, and it's great. And because the AI is like drones that fly about, like it works well with that too. But because the guns are kind of like scrapped together, it's not like I feel like I could just run around on top of the building, and the biggest risk is people seeing me and then like coming up. Rather than I'm not just going to get, I'm not just going to get AXM seed from Jupiter on top of that building, right? It's just like the guns
Hmm.
just don't really lend themselves to it. Like, yeah, somebody might take some pot shots, but it's quite hard to kill somebody over. I don't even know what the ranges even look like in this game, but from 50 meters and further out, it's quite hard to actually hit someone.
Hmm.
I would think, which is pretty crazy. But man, like yeah, it's insane. So there were some questions about solo as well, which I think is
Hmm.
like really important that we talk about, and like the squadding stuff, because that was like one of my biggest gripes about Marathon and like all these other games where
Yeah.
you're forced to play really as a three. If you're not on a three, well, you're just going to have to suck it up and take somebody in from the internet at random, because the game's designed to be played as three. Damn it, that's how we made the game, and that's how you'll play it. That's how you'll enjoy our game. If you don't like it, you can get out and play something else. It's like how I felt about a lot of these games recently.
Hmm.
Whereas Arc Raid is just kind of like, yeah, you can play in a three-man team, and if you want to play a solo, like we'll just match you overwhelmingly against other people on their own. No problem. Like, yeah, just do what you like. Like it's fine. No worries. So when I played solo, I think I suspected that I may have been against one duo.
Hmm.
I played solo for 5 hours, or 5 and a bit hours, and I played trios with you guys for like another 5.5 hours, something like that. And in the trios, it was all against trios, as far as I could tell. And in the solos, I was 99% of the time against solos.
Yeah.
Great. Embark's just like, yeah, you want to play the game solo? Whatever. You know, like the recent experience we've had with Marathon, where everyone's just like, can we just play against solos? Whatever. Like, oh, well, the classes aren't really balanced for that. I'm like, oh, everyone's just going to choose. It's just like, shut up. Just let us play. Like, what's the problem? Like, just chill out, you know? Let us do what we like.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, it's crazy. So, like, we had an amazing time playing solo. You're not getting, you know, attacked by multiple groups of people. And yeah, there's like third party and stuff, but it's like overwhelmingly an individual who's like coming at you from a different angle. So you have to be like kind of careful. But it makes the experience much, much better. And in a game like this, where there's no friendly fire, where there are teammate indicators, and there is a rezzing system, you cannot have solo players playing against trios. It is just not going to work. It makes solo impossible for most people. Unless you're like a god gamer and you want to challenge and you want to turn off the squad fill and play trios, you know, purposefully anyway on your own because you want to make YouTube highlights or whatever. Unless you're that kind of person, you're just going to lose. Like it's just, and you can't, like, you can do it. Like I played Marathon like that, but you have to play in such a restrictive way.
Yeah.
You know, any groups of players, you just have to run. Like you're playing it as a stealth game, really, and like maybe you pick one off and then you run while they're rezzing. Right, you use that cover time. You're never going to get the loot. Right, you're never ever going to loot them unless you really are much better than them. And so the fact they've just gone, just play solo against other solos, it's cool. It's no problem. Like that's great.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. Was funny. Just
I was just
God, you say what you're going to say.
I just really appreciate that they allow you to do that, but it's not it's strictly not solos only. You know what I mean? Like it's heavily weighted, but there's still, and you know, there's been many times where I hear people VoIPing, so it's like I know that people are. It's like you don't really know for certain, you know, what you're up against. There's that level of uncertainty that reminds me of like some of Tarkov's design and they talk about. So I appreciate that that's there because then you still have that like gripping fear. You know, it's like, oh, I killed a guy, but like, was he actually alone? You know, it's like that's the stuff that for me makes it. And I personally, I mean, well, I'm sure I haven't played like this time around I only played with you and
easy,
and then last time I pretty much played mostly with my friend group. I really enjoyed solo this time around. Like I didn't think I would. Maybe I can't remember. Maybe in the testing thing they didn't have the like, you know, queues set up to where solos got matched. I can't say for certain, but I really enjoyed solo. Like this feels really good as a solo player.
Yeah. No, it is definitely good. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was fun. I mean, I played solo pretty carefully as well because one thing that a lot of people said is that the arc this time around the bots were harder than in the last test, and playing as a solo against the bots, it's just easier to deal with the arc as a trio. It just is for many reasons, like, you know, I was saying before about the Hornets, and they've got 2 protected rotors and the 2 at the back that aren't. But if you're solo, like the Hornet's just looking at you the whole time, so it's very difficult to get an angle. Whereas if there's 2 of you, one can go from, you know, one's take aggro and the other goes from the side. And some of these things are going to be very difficult for solo players to do, I imagine, like the Queen Harvester thing. I just don't know. You'd probably be able to complete that on your own if you really tried, but like the odds are kind of stacked against you. You know, a group of relative novices with like white tier gear for the most part, we managed to complete that event. Like we didn't kill the queen, but we did manage to get in there and, you know, do what we needed to do to get out and actually finish the harvest a bit. Whereas like as a solo with that level, you'd have to be like way more geared to do that, I would think. But no, it's just funny. Like the downing rezzing system is, I think you can get up as many times as you like. Obviously, you start back up with nothing, so you expend a load of resources, getting your health back, getting your energy back, your shields back. And getting health and shields back, it does seem to take quite a while. It's like, especially the lower level heals. It's, you know, they chunk up as time goes on, rather than being there are insta heal items, but they're like higher level.
Yes.
So the basic stuff that you have is like, you know, chunks up over time, and it is funny actually because you can still, I mean, this is another thing that has made a lot of clips come out online about it last time and this time, is that you can go down in the extract and as a solo, like you don't die instantly when you go down because you can you can still crawl to the panel and call the lift, and then be in the lift and leave when you're downed, technically, and you can
Yep.
still survive the raid, right? If you get to the exit. So in theory, and I've seen some people talking about this, where there's two people have a fight at the extract, and one person wins, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, they want to get out like straight away, so they're not gonna have time to loot them, so they're just like not gonna get them up, but they're like, yeah, you just come in, like we'll both leave together, it's fine, because now they're no threat, right? Because
Yeah.
like there's no threat
Yeah.
left for that guy on the ground, so you can still get out sometimes. And I accidentally did this because somebody had died in the extract, and I had this like fight against this other guy, and he like caught me by surprise and then took me down. And he did the panel and then went around to loot me, but there was a dead guy already in there, and so I just kind of hid in the corner. And then at the last moment, he came around the corner, and there was just like, oh, and I could see him like go towards me, and then the timer disappeared, and we extracted together, and I was like, whoo, the guy got duked out by the fact that there was this like random dead body in there, which is like pretty funny. So the down status thing it works okay because it's only really relevant when you're playing as 3. And in that case, it's like, yeah, you can get your bait back up, but you've got to expend resources to get yourself back to full health. It feels kind of fair. There's like, once you are actually dead, there's no res mechanics after that. There's no second chance. You still have to be crawling around. You have to be gotten up before your health goes to like fully 0,
Mm-hmm.
for you to actually have a chance of getting back up. But like when you're playing as a 3, it feels okay. When you're playing as a solo, you don't really have to deal with it because it's other people playing solo, so it's kind of no big deal as far as I can see.
Yeah. No, I that too is just like such a clever inclusion because I mean I had it happen to me the other day. It's like I died to a rocketeer, so I went down, but it was like going to the extract, so like I could still extract. Like it's
Mm.
basically some bullshit happens, but I didn't actually. It was like good enough. Like you know what I mean. It's like they gave me a pass, and like so I appreciate that inclusion. And it's really yeah. There was another time where I got into like a big like fought 3 different people basically at the extract, like a bunch of solos, and then like finally got to like loot them all, and then like as I'm finished looting the last guy, there's like 2 minutes left on the clock before like the big thing comes down and blows up.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just appears right in front of me, and they scare the crap out of me. So I shoot them, and then the Rocketeer is aggro now, and so we're like fighting, and then I'm like VoIPing, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you scared me," because it seems like they weren't really trying to fight me. I don't
Mm.
know, and then they went. I think they went down, and I also went down, but we just like crawled to the extract together and got out. It's just fun, It's like, cool stuff.
Yeah, I think within solos, you're gonna probably have more people joining up just because the AI is harder. Like I had somebody,
Yeah.
because there is actually I didn't realize there was a voice wheel, and there was somebody saying, don't shoot, don't shoot, and I was like, oh, they're probably, let's just try it. They're probably genuine. And
Hmm.
we did end up actually, we fought one of the like leaper things together, but we were getting shot at by somebody else in one of the buildings from like miles away. So it was like group up with some random person who were just talking through the voice wheel on, because
Yeah.
they didn't have. I thought my voice chat was like not working, and so I just kind of resorted to the scroll wheel. I guess people just weren't responding. So when I played with you lot, you're just like, oh, you're like VoIPing to everybody around here. I was just like, I thought it wasn't working. Never mind. Anyway, so we're getting shot at by somebody else. Like made friends with this person. We killed one of the like mini boss type things. Not really with much help from me. Many them. I had one of those like crazy wolf pack grenades where they split it to like 4 mini missiles,
Mm.
so that probably helped. But I'd only bought like a light gun or something, so I couldn't really help them. So it's like I think there's more potential for teaming up, especially with, I mean, in trios you're already going to be in a team, so it doesn't really matter. But as solos, I think there is definitely something there where, especially given they've made the arc a bit harder as well, I can see it becoming a bit more collaborative sometimes. Like there's definitely been situations that I've seen like around in the community where people are just like, the raiders are all fighting each other, and everyone's just like, guys, like if we keep going, like we're all gonna die here. Like we need to deal with the bots. Like we actually
Yeah.
just have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're all gonna lose here. Because yeah, the Rocketeer that you were talking about before is like the bane of my existence. Every time that thing appears, it just like wrecks my ass. It's awful. They're really heavily armored, these things, like way more than the
Yeah.
Hornet, and they fire rockets at you, and they fly quite high up. They're really annoying. I've been killed by those things like multiple times now at this point, and every time I
Hmm.
ping on one, and it's just like, oh, it's a Rocketeer. I'm just like, let's get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
do not want to aggro that thing, because they will chase you to the ends of the earth. It caused me to not extract one time as well, just because I ended up like, getting pushed like halfway across the map off course. It's like terrible, actually terrible.
Yeah. I bet that's
But yeah,
intentional that they wanted to make it because yeah, I mean, like if the enemy AI is always like cannon fodder than like the natural course. Like that's going to be boring relatively quickly. So if you're playing solos a
Yeah.
lot, everyone's just gonna. So I like that. I'll be curious if they add a feature where you can like cooperate and like create a in raid team, so to speak. So you get like some of the
Mm.
UI features. I imagine probably not, just because then maybe you could use like voice chat for like teammates only, and that might be because there is like a separate team chat and like a public chat or like proximity chat, I should say. So I don't know, but anyways, it's all good fun. I was just laughing and watching my footage here, trying to conserve ammo and like be sneaky and use my like pickaxe because you have like a prying tool. It's kind of like a crowbar pickaxe type of thing, and you use that to like loot stuff and your melee weapon. And I basically just expended a lot of resources for nothing. Just like 5 minutes of me
Mm.
struggling to chase down the spider bot and miss it my swings, run out of stamina. It's so funny.
Yeah. No, it's yes. There's certainly so many interesting things like you were saying about it's cool that which there's like unique pieces for each type of bot that do different things.
Hmm.
And I was thinking about the snitch scanner that I accidentally just
Yeah,
ended up
that was so
having
cool.
because if the snitch, which is like the scout one, if that
Hmm.
spots you, it doesn't have any guns, but if that spots you, it calls in a load of bots. Do they come flying out of the sky, or do they
Yeah,
actually appear on the map? I think they actually do, right?
they fly out the sky.
Um,
They crash land and they or yeah, something, whatever.
yeah, they come out with some kind of deployable rocket or something like that.
Yeah,
But you can, if you kill a snitch, you can take the snitch scanner and you can put it. It's a utility item, so you can take it and then you could throw it at something, someone, some area, and bring in, bots basically.
yeah,
So again, it's like more utility. It's like more this utility stuff. It's like the little like flaming like ball things. They have like a fireball burner in them, which is kind of like a Molotov cocktail grenade. Like you were saying before, the Hornet one that stuns enemies. I'm not sure if the Rocketeer one does anything. I know that's used in the hideout and stuff. But a lot of the Arc like core components have some kind of like in raid use, whether it's either the arc like power core thing like for regenerating your shield, or whether it's for using as a grenade or like a stun grenade or calling in bots or whatever it might be. There's like lots of like random things that they do, which is nice. It's just like nice little bit of world elements.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Talking about two things I've seen. One is the third person camera of it. Now, I'm generally not a fan of third person. Like, if you give me a choice, I'm choosing first person 90% of the time, right? Um, with this, however, I don't mind it as much, and I think like part of that is because the game feels it has that very immersive feeling, and like I'm very immersed in it. I feel like I'm a scavenger in some future timeline where bots are like skynets existing, and like I'm having to scrap so I can like get into it, see my character. They have a nice mechanic too that I really appreciate for third person shooters, is you can like swap shoulders basically, so your camera, like in Helldivers for example. So I like that because it kind of adds the movement tactical feeling sensation that I get when I'm playing this game. um I don't know, what are your thoughts on the third person?
It's more cinematic, so there's
Hmm.
that positive. That's probably partly why it gives me the feeling of Helldivers,
Yeah.
because Helldivers is also in third person. So there's quite a few design choices that are sort of taken out of the Helldivers playbook, it seems, with this game. I mean, there's stuff taken from everywhere. It's Hunt Showdown, bit of Tarkov, bit of Helldivers, bit of like Metal Gear, bit of this, that, and the other. There's lots of different things. But I mean, I would say it isn't ruining the experience for me at the moment. I'm also not that comfortable with it yet. I felt like I really sucked at the beginning using the third person perspective.
Hmm.
I think it's fine for the PvE. I think that's okay. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to be that good long term in PvP. I think I probably still they've said that they are not going to do it to put in a first person mode.
Hmm.
People keep telling me this when I say like I probably would prefer to have a first person mode. Being honest, I think it probably would
Yeah.
be my choice if I could. Um, and people go, "Wow, they've said they're not going to do it." And I'm just like, people say lots of things, like people change their mind, like who
Yeah.
knows, who
Yeah.
knows. I did look it up, and apparently the guys were kind of like, they were like, yeah, people have asked about it, like it's kind of hard to do because of the way they've done some basically, I'm sure there is something to this about some of the locations. You have to be a bit more thoughtful about sight lines and stuff like this in
Mm-hmm.
first person.
Yeah.
And then there was something more fundamental about the fact that they were like, well, the assets that we've got in the game, like they're not designed to be looked at like from 3 centimeters away. You know,
Mm.
the guns and stuff. Like we don't have models for like first person view of the
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff starts to fall apart when you're looking at them like point blank.
Right.
I think
Right.
that may be one of the reasons why the game can be. There's probably lots of reasons for this, but one of the optimizations is the fact that none of the models have to be like first person level quality. If you can press your face right up against them, you're going to notice a lot more. You're so much closer to the stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
universe in Tarkov than you are in Arc Raiders, for example. So you can actually get away with a lot more. And so that's what the devs were talking about, saying that like, oh, it's kind of a bit ropey if you just put first person in, everything kind of looks a bit ass. So they probably have to think about it. So I don't imagine they're going to do it anytime soon. But yeah, that's the only thing that really worries me about it is the PvP, because third person perspective is obviously very prone to just screen peeking around the corner that you could see them, they can't see you, and then they run up to you and then you just murder them,
Yeah.
which it's is that much different to lean peeking around the corner and people not being able to see in first person? Like a little bit. I think it matters more in the actual fight where two people are looking at each other, and I do think it contributes to some of the. I don't want to go as far to say balancing issues, but to say balancing considerations maybe, in that the high damage single fire weapons or slower
Yeah.
firing weapons are a lot more powerful for that reason, because you can line a shot up before you leave your corner and then peek shoot instantly, right? Like it's that sort of. We talked about this previously about like ages ago, months ago, about the do you want the single continuous laser beam with continuous damage
Mm-hmm.
versus
Mm-hmm.
one shot with burst and all the damage and a reload cycle,
Yeah.
and it depends on the situation. But if you're behind cover, if there's any cover at all,
Right.
you want
Right.
the peek and shoot and then you move back in, right? It's a bit like fighting with, it's like World of Tanks, like fighting with a tank. You like pop out, you fire, and you
Mm-hmm.
go back behind cover. So any of the SMGs or anything that's automatic with lower damage, it takes a certain amount of exposure time to deploy
Yes.
the DPS.
Yes.
You're just going to beat them if you have the poke out, do loads of damage, and peek back in. And the third person, I think, contributes towards that. I think it's one of the reasons why the Ferrer and the Anvil are so powerful.
Yeah.
Not just because they are powerful guns, which they are, but because of that. Like you can deploy your DPS in a very small burst, and then hide, reload, and then pop back out and deploy your DPS again. And people with SMGs and other types of guns don't really have a way of combating that particularly, especially when you can see where they are, etc., etc. So we'll see about that. It might make the PvP really annoying. I can imagine situations where people get kind of caught in these like stalemates, but again, at that point, you don't need to fight to the death. Like, you could just leave. I don't know. I'm sure this situation can be problematic, but that's a very long-winded way of saying that I'd rather play first person. But it's. I don't think it's gonna. It hasn't broken my experience yet, but it remains to be seen. It's
Yeah.
probably my biggest like concern, I think, for the high-level PvP later on.
Yeah. I think that's really what it boils down to is the how it ties into PvP and like specifically with the high burst single shot weapons. Because I definitely felt that in the previous playtest, and that was like kind of like the meta, which that seemed to persist. I saw a lot of people using the Ferrero, the big Mosin
Yeah,
equivalent, and yeah, I mean, I we'll see how it pans out. It's one of those things where for me, I'm probably just gonna like adapt to it because like it's everything else for me like works. You know what I mean? Like, and then part of me
yeah,
wonders. I would actually really like to play. So like, if I let me say this, if the game, if it was my first time playing the game and it had first person, I probably would be none the wiser. And what I mean when I say that is, right now it would be great to play first person, having played third person experience, because I would be curious how, because like obviously the benefit of third person is, well, there's a couple different things, but accessibility is one. People don't get as motion sick with
Hmm.
third person, but mainly you just like get more field of view and like you can see what your character's doing, so you get more information on the screen. And part of that comes in the aspect of fighting these bots. I wonder, because like you can basically see a threat. Like imagine if you're in first person, you just open up the door, walk in, and then oh, there's a turret right there aiming right at me, shooting. You know what I mean? So I'm curious how on the balance side of things, like for specifically the PVE, what that would look like. Like I would actually enjoy to play something like that because it could be fun, and maybe there's something there. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll we'll see how it progresses. But I mean, I think because of the world being so beautiful to me, does do a lot of heavy lifting to make me
Yeah,
feel slightly less, put out by third person perspective. To be honest, I
yeah,
just like
100%.
feels
That's
very cinematic, running around. And
yeah,
again, it's that Helldivers feeling of like sliding down stuff. We probably do need to talk about sliding in a little bit. I was a bit like disconcerted by sliding in general because it's quite slide it's quite a slide happy game. Once people told me about it, which is like, oh yeah, you can just like slide down stuff and you regen stamina, so you're kind of incentivized to like slide kind of anytime you get the opportunity, which I find is a little too much on the movement stuff, but maybe
you
it'll
think
be okay
so?
because the rest of it's I don't yeah I was a bit like oh this I felt like a disappointing realization. It's just like anytime I'm going downhill very slightly,
Mm-hmm.
even on flat surfaces, actually, like I should be sliding because you regen your stamina. So over the long run,
Yeah,
you're just going to be quicker. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure actually. I don't know, but maybe I'm just kind of anti COD slidey,
yeah.
man with bin bag shouts at cars at the side of the street, like sliding mechanics.
I mean, I love
Where's my
stuff like this,
immersion?
so it's definitely up my alley. But I feel like for me, it's like it still maintains the like tactical side of it because like it's it's one of those things where it's not like you're actually gaining. Like it's slope dependent, you know. Like if the slope is steep enough,
It
you're gonna
is.
gain a lot of speed, and like you can actually continue that slide all the way down.
Yeah, which
Um,
is fine if you're going down like the dam, for example, and that's okay. I kind of don't mind that.
yeah, like here, like this is a fairly steep thing, and I'm carrying something heavy, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I'm not really like I'm sliding like I don't know, a couple
Yeah, because
feet.
you kind of have to go into it from a sprint, don't you? Whereas with that doodad, you
Yes,
can't sprint.
yes, that's
I
probably
just feel
playing
like it's
into it.
dope. I just feel like even on this slope, I feel like it's kind of a dopey looking way to get around. like with like
It is a
a
little
enormous crate. I just like it breaks my immersion a bit. I have to say.
okay.
It's the only
I
thing
kind of see
about it. The rest
that.
of it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. The rest of it's kind of fine. Like, I actually do think the movement's quite clunky, personally, but I don't mind it.
Hmm.
It feels in keeping and it feels grounded, so I actually think it's okay. Like, yeah, I played lots of games with clunky movement, DayZ and uh, what else? Yeah, like Squad's got like pretty clunky movement.
Hunky
Like any of
how?
those sort of like more mil simmy type. I guess like I guess it's just high inertia. When you're moving one way, then it's not instant to move back the other way. But that's why I feel like it's sort
Hmm.
of real because you're looking at it in third person, so it sort of makes more sense because the animations are quite good.
Yeah.
So it's sort of clunky, but I don't mind. I actually genuinely don't mind the
Is it
clunkiness. But
clunky
then
or
when
is
I
it
see
like?
people like,
Go ahead.
I think it's just heavy. I think the character's just kind
That's
of
what I was
like
gonna say. I feel like it's
realistically
more just
heavy,
like yeah.
which then makes the sliding thing like even worse for me in some ways because I'm just like it's like it's right on the boundary where I'm like start to quibble about it. It's like
Yeah.
right on the edge. I'm not like this is going to ruin the game or anything, but it's like it's right on the edge of like I think it's with the stamina. If the stamina didn't regen, like it's really like a nuanced thing for me. There's just something about it I don't like. The
Hmm.
fact that you're
The
it's just like
optimal
from a
way
game
is
design
to
perspective.
slide
Yeah, the
on
optimal.
anything and
It reminds me of
everything.
like the crawl run in EFT. It's like you want to
Yeah.
slide on
Yeah.
everything because then even if you're
No, I
going
get you.
slower than you would be when you were running, because you're regenerating stamina, you can now run further. So overall, you're better off. And I think the incentives are a little weird, but
I get you.
it's a minor gripe to be honest.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. That makes sense. Because yeah, I mean, depending on the scenario, I am chronically sliding everywhere when possible.
Yeah.
So, but you can't
But I
really
mean,
on a flat surface.
it would probably feel awful in first person to experience the level of inertia in this game. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
Just maybe food for thought, right? Because you can see your character doing the things and the animations are great.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, this sort of makes sense. A lot of this stuff is about how your brain thinks about these things based
Mm-hmm.
on how it looks, right? So much of this stuff is subjective and weirdly subjective. It's just like if your brain thinks it makes sense, then you don't notice or you think everything's fine, even if something is technically worse. It's weird. The human mind is a strange thing. But no, I think it's good. I think it's fine. I quite like the movement, especially given the third person. Yeah, the sliding's a bit weird for me, but otherwise it's all right.
Yeah, I get that. I think like one of the more rounding out final things to say for me is like the sound design, which I know a lot of people praise. Like the bot slash AI, just like I don't even know how you describe it, like the beeping, telephone dial up sound.
Modem guy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the everything there is like sounds like it's good. Like the explosions, like when the Rocketeer explodes near you or you get hit by an explosion, like your ears they're not ringing, but like everything is muffled. Which thank God I was editing like one of your Tarkov clips and it was just like actual pain in my eardrums that's nice. I'm like, oh my God. I had to like throw a filter on it. It was awful. I forgot how I think my ears have like readjusted to normalcy and then going to the Tarkov Tonight's ring is actually just like hurting my ears.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but yeah, the sound's really good. Like almost too good because I swear I'm like hearing stuff constantly. I'm like freaking out, it's like there's a lot of like I don't know, it sounds really good, very immersive.
Yeah. I want to know what happened. Like, it's got that proper dystopian, eerie AI takeover.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds to it, and they're creepy. Like the bots are coming for you, kind of creepiness.
Yeah.
You'd have those probes that they're like flying around
Mm-hmm.
in Earth, and then they drop down, and then they're sat there making like
Yeah.
noises, noises, and you're just like, oh, this is crazy. And then after a while, they fly back off, and they're just what are they called? Probes? I can't remember now.
I think so.
I think they are. I think they're called probes. But you can run up to them and you can like crowbar them open and like take stuff out of them if you get to them before they fly off, right? And they basically like complain in like bot language, because
Yeah.
they just sat there doing that.
Yeah, especially if you go and like
and you
loot
go
them.
up to them and
Yeah.
they're like
You're like prying them
It's
open and
quite-
you're like, stop, you're killing me and like robot noises. So-
yeah, and the other drones start coming towards you.
yeah.
Oh, it's another very, very clever piece I forgot about, which is the traffic light system on the bots themselves, where they're like scanning with the blue light. And
Oh
then
right,
if
yeah,
they
yeah.
hear the noise, like they hear the crowbarring and stuff, they go boop, they go yellow, and then they're
Mhm.
like looking for you, and then they go red when they've actually got a target. So
Yeah.
you can look at the bots color system when they're
Mhm.
fighting other people to see what's going on as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, there's yellow bots in this area, so there must be players, or like, oh, there's a red light bot there, like they're locked onto somebody for sure. It gives away information that you can then use, which is very cool. I like it a lot. It's neat. I really just want to know what happened. Like I'm invested in the sci-fi story about this. Like
That's
I
cool,
love
yeah.
this kind of thing, and I'm like super invested. Just like, what's the Harvester doing? Like, what are they doing to the
Yeah.
Earth? Like, what happened? Where did they come from? Are they our creation, or are they like from somewhere else? I'm like intrigued. And then because it's like mysterious materials, you like harvest like the arc alloy, which you then are using to like make things. It's like they've got advanced tech, which is sort of like repurposing for humans' needs. It's like it's very cool.
It's cool.
The one thing that we didn't talk about that we probably should have talked about in the beginning is the performance. The performance of this game using Unreal 5. Apparently, well, I've read lots of things. I mean, I'm not an expert at all. Apparently, they're not using Lumen, from what I've read. I don't really know. But supposedly, a load of the devs are like ex-DICE guys, and they're super experienced and know they know what to do. But
Yeah.
the game is like performs immaculately for the first time in forever. I'm not using DLSS. I don't even need it.
I thought you were using
It's
DLAA.
crazy. I'm using DLAA, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
So
I
I'm
see
using
what you're saying.
DLAA for the anti-aliasing, and I'm not using any upscaling at all, which is
Yeah.
quite unusual. And somebody said like, "Oh, you don't need DLSS in Tarkov." When I was talking about this on a Twitter thread or something, and I was just like, "I actually don't need DLSS in Tarkov, in fairness, but like I do because TAA sucks."
Hmm.
So there's no good anti-aliasing, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't even need it. I could turn it on for a few more frames, but I'm at like 80 plus anyway, so it's just doesn't matter to me that much.
Yeah.
The game feels fully smooth, so I don't care. The game
Yeah,
runs like a dream. It's
it's
wonderful.
crazy playing a imagine playing an Unreal game without stuttering. Like imagine. Like actually imagine. It's like God.
I know.
So yeah, shout
I
outs to
must have
the
gone so far away towards the player. I guess just the like the criticism, or what's it called, like the response that they've had. Like people have just gone, oh, it's an extraction shooter. Oh, it actually performs. Like this, and it's not just a Tarkov ripoff. Like, okay, let's give this thing a try. And then obviously all the other good stuff about it.
Mhm.
But it really is the sort of the bar that you need to clear if you want mass adoption. And I guess if you're running it on console, maybe that's one of the things, right? You kind of have to.
Yeah, that's true
Otherwise,
too.
it's going to like be a stuttery lag fest on console. Although Borderlands didn't seem to subscribe to that either. But anyway, it is what it is. But like, it's just a magnificent thing, and it looks great. Like it doesn't look like they've
Yeah.
skimped at all. There's like lots of threads popping up saying, all these are they cool optimization things that they've done, or they've done this cleverly, or they've done that cleverly. There's like people popping up on my Twitter feed about picking the game apart from like 3D asset design people and like environments people popping out being like, oh, this thing's so cool. Oh, they've done this thing in such a good way. Like, oh, this thing's so well done. Like, oh, they've used this particular tech instead of this, and this is smart because of that. Half of the words in there I don't even understand because like I'm not in that world at all.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it runs. It actually runs, which is awesome.
Yeah. I think the only thing I've really noticed is like performance slash technical is the bushes for being. I might have gotten rid of it because I got eliminates the post processing, but I think with like DLSS and some of the other features in post processing, it was doing like kind of like a garbling thing with like the shadows and whatnot. Um,
Yeah.
and the other thing I was gonna say is um rocks and like sound. There's like a kind of like level of detail thing, like where it's very subtle. Like as you approach, like the complexity kind of like changes a bit.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like in the grand scheme of things, it's hardly a complaint because the game runs good. Like I can, if I really want to, I could probably get 138 fairly consistently with all the, like, especially if I bump down to like balance DLSS. Like I definitely could hit that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, big win on the performance because it's so good.
It's good
Like
to
you
have a
get the
game
best
that
of both
actually
worlds.
performs well.
I know, it's just like it's an Unreal game, so like it looks good and it doesn't run like shit. Like oh my god, like
Yeah.
I swear, like Unreal has like a detrimental curse to it because every Unreal game just runs like crap. Like it's like
Yeah.
fine until suddenly everything stutters and loads, and it's like oh, I just been taken out of the experience. It's awful. So yeah, big props to them for heavily optimizing it, and apparently it's just like yeah. Anyways, I won't go into it tirade into things I know very little, absolutely nothing about. But I think in summary, for me, I wasn't sure if I was gonna buy it or even play it. Quite frankly, this test around, but like after playing it, it's like made up my mind. It's like yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna play it. Like I'm gonna buy it, play it. If it lasts, if I drop it in like 10 days, so be it. You know what I mean? It's just like
Hmm.
I enjoy it. I really, and part of me too is almost like I just want to buy it. Well, I mean, I do like it, but like I could probably skip on it and feel like I'm not gonna miss out anything too much. But I kind of just want to do it just out of like supporting the $40 price tag. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
part of me is also just
Yeah.
like I gotta do my duty. I gotta simp for it's my second favorite company. Video game company right there next to Valve
What
and Bart.
Embark Studios?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I'm for sure gonna get it, and I know it'll. I'll get my money's worth out of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something that is in there, I think, at least
Mm-hmm.
for enough to justify the purchase. Whether it'll be a forever game for me, I don't know. I mean, I certainly love the world. That helps for me a lot.
Yeah.
That helps me a lot. I just kind of, I was like, yeah, I've sort of finished with the progression. We said at the beginning it was capped, so you could only upgrade, what was it, like 3 modules, and only get to certain, that you couldn't use the blueprints to get the higher tier weapons or anything. Like, there's loads of stuff that was capped off versus the previous test, which was kind of strange. I think a lot of people thought it was a bit odd because they had so much open last time and so
Yeah.
much closed off this time, and way more people played it this time. So there's a few people who are going around being like, well, there was a lot of hype, and like, you couldn't really do an awful lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's some stuff, but not that much. And lots of people are just like, but wait, no, there's loads more. Like, we played loads more last time. So it did seem a bit of an odd choice. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it. I think it'd be cool. I think it's fun, and I love the fact that you can just play both solo and trios. I did the first day on my own, and then the
Mm-hmm.
second day with you and Easy, and both experiences were different and fun. It's like you could play Tarkov with 3 of you, 2 of you, 1 of you. It's not like, oh, you need to have all 3 of your friends on to make this trio to actually make the game work. Like, the fact that you can, it's flexible to just mix and
Mm-hmm.
match is great. It's like, oh, I can play solo, and then I can link up with someone if I want to, and it just feels nice. Like, that makes it feel so much more playable. Like Marathon, I was just like, well, none of my friends are probably going to buy this thing. Like, I don't really play that much like squatted on stream. Like, this just is not really playable for me. Like, if I can't play solo as well and get some progression, just not really going to work. But
Yeah.
this feels eminently possible. Feels very possible. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good, and it's coming out at a good time because it's coming out 2 weeks before 1.0 Tarkov, which I'm obviously going to spend a lot of time playing.
Mm-hmm.
But this, play 2 weeks of this, that would be pretty nice in this lull period because there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Matt and
it gives us something to do.
a lot of Tarkov people are probably gonna be doing something similar,
Hmm.
content creators
Yep.
and regular players. So yeah, it'll be fun times.
Exactly, and then we'll see how it goes in the long term. I don't know. I don't really know how I'm going to balance that. It's just going to depend on what happens in 1.0, I think, and there's content angle to it as well. There's wipes in. Well, there's no wipes in this game, is there?
I've heard
Just as
stuff,
a
but
last point.
I honestly don't even know. Like,
I was listening to Jesse talk because he was quite clued in on it, and so he was like, "Yeah,
okay.
apparently there's no wipes. It seems like quite an interesting system. So there's no wipes, but there is something that's a bit like Prestige,
Yeah,
and
okay. Yeah.
you work on this thing called the Expedition Project, or at least that's the first one. You work on the Expedition Project while you're going through the game, and then supposedly the way it works is that you can't just do that whenever you like. If you complete all of the stuff, about every 8 weeks, there'll be a window in which you can basically do the Prestige. So everybody who wants to do the Prestige kind of has to do it at the same time. But if you don't want to do it, you can keep your progression and keep working on it until the next window in like 8 weeks' time. So if you're more casual and it's going to take you longer than the window to complete the thing, that's fine. You just do it like every other one or like every third one or whatever. Or just work your way towards doing one of them, one time. But you have to wait until that window every 8 weeks to do it. So it's sort of like a mini wipe. All the top level people are going to be wiping their accounts. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But you keep the progression towards your own prestige if you want to. I don't know what kind of benefits you get from it, but it sounds kind of interesting. It sounds interesting. It's a way that I've not seen it be done before. It's like prestige is one
Often
thing, but
wipes.
everybody, yeah, because like everybody like wipes at random times if it's prestige, so it's just doesn't really have any effect. Whereas this is like people who don't want to won't wipe, but lots of people who do want the benefits will wipe all at once. So it's sort of like a mini wipe, like part of the player base. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but it's novel at least.
Oh wait, I must have missed that detail. I was watching my own footage. You said so it is. You can't just like prestige anytime. You have to do it at a certain time.
Yeah. So every 8 weeks there's like a 1 week window.
Oh, that's it. That's super interesting.
So you have to complete your project. Yeah. Once you've completed it, you have to wait for the window in like 8 weeks' time, and there's like a 1 week window in which you can do it. And then once you've done your prestige, then you'll get a new project for the next one, and there'll be another window in 8 weeks' time. So,
that's really
but if you
interesting.
don't want, if you didn't make it in the 8 weeks, you keep your progress, and you can just work towards it, continue to work towards it, and then you could maybe prestige on on the next one.
That's actually really clever.
It's really clever. So it means like there's a bunch of people prestiging at once.
Yeah.
It's not a full wipe for everybody. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But it means that a lot of the like higher level, more experienced players will be going back to square one.
Yeah.
And the people who are more casual are playing just as they were before, and they can still work towards it on a longer timescale. So you could do it maybe every second one or every third one. You know, maybe you're never going to get to it. Maybe you're just going to work towards it once if you don't play much.
Yeah, maybe you don't never want to do it. So you just like have forever, you know. There's flexibility there.
I was saying I don't know what the benefits are, but it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. That's really clever because you know one of the complaints or that goes both ways. It's like, oh, this game doesn't have wipes, or oh, this game does have wipes. You know, and I don't like that, or I do like, you know. Whereas this is like, I think they struck a really great solution because it gives you the power to make the decision yourself. And, you know, obviously one of the better benefits of the wipes is you get to, like, climb the progression run. Because for me, a lot of the extraction experience is climbing the progression rung ladder. Like, I don't know. Without that, it's really hard for it to work for me. Because I mean, if in a game like DayZ, you know, it's not really an extraction shooter, right? You're like always playing, and when you're not, you know what I mean? You just don't exist in the world, I guess. Or I guess I don't know. I guess you kind of do in a sense, like maybe your base and stuff, but whatever. Whereas, you know, with extraction, it's all instant based, so like it's just really hard for me because I felt that experience when we were playing, or I was playing, and I had basically ran out of quests and done all the hideout upgrades you could for this test because they like heavily kneecapped everything.
Yeah.
And so like I was playing a couple and like it was just kind of messing. That's kind of when I started like messing about with some of the like utility stuff, like the mine stuff. But you know, it's just kind of like doing senseless PvP. I didn't have anything to really like. The most I could do is like, okay, well, I got this gun and I want to like upgrade it to the highest tier, so I gotta loot these components and stuff. But like, it's just not. It really wasn't enough to keep me going. I just fell out of steam. So I like that they have something where they have a form of wiping. Because yeah, I will definitely. For me, that's a lot of the fun. It's not about destination. It's about the journey. You know, I say that all the time when it comes to this type of stuff.
Exactly. That's definitely the way with extraction shooters for sure.
I feel so. Yeah.
Do you have the sound linked up at all? We don't actually have the sound, do we, on the cast? From your no, we don't, because it's just a video feed.
Yeah, but it's possible. Why? What's up? You want to hear something?
Because yeah, a few people have popped into chat saying that they've just released the Arena 4.0 Battle Pass like trailer, literally just now on YouTube.
Okay. Tarkov Arena Battle Pass.
It's only 1:14. This thing.
Okay.
We could do like 3, 2, 1, go, and I'll just put the sound on mine.
We could. I mean, I can. I think
because I'm not going to be able to hear you. Unless is it a screen share? No, because it's a camera, isn't it? It's not technically a screen share. Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now fine. Discord might mute me.
Yeah, I think it mutes you.
Well, I mean, it might actually cut off my audio because it.
Now I can't hear anything.
Yeah, see, it doesn't it doesn't like when you keep an open mic. We'll just do 3, 2, 1.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, we don't want you sharing stuff over the, you know.
Oh, it's just music for the most part, apparently. Okay, well, whatever. We'll do 3, 2, 1 anyway. Just take it back to 0 and then. All
right.
Count me in, mouse.
2, 1. Okay, people running in slow motion. Let's go. Unlock the tactical map.
Classic Tarkov trailer.
Whoa, wait, what's going on? There's a board and pieces are being landed on it.
Why? What is the tactical map for?
A helmet inspection in first person? New reward containers? Oh my god, loot boxes in raid.
Yeah.
Okay, some cool skins. 100 free levels.
100 free levels.
Oh, that's from earlier, the Nikita League.
Ah.
Cool.
Interesting. Okay, well, 100 free levels. So is the implication there that the levels after that are not free?
Ah, yeah, you must be right, yeah.
I
That
imagine so.
Seems...
What is this? Yeah, unlock the tactical map? What is that?
Yeah,
What is this for?
That is a great question, actually. Because...
Is this the thing that they've been working on for ages, that we were talking about earlier even?
Yeah, wasn't this like a Nikita League or something? Like, what is... This is customs. This is straight up customs. But why?
Yeah. I don't... Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very good question.
Is this a mini game, or is this like, you know, pay to win? Complete the battle pass and unlock the new 3D tactical map in raid. You know, you and your allies can share screen. You know, it's like, what is?
You can call it an airstrike after 5 kills.
Like, seriously, what are we looking at here? We got like gray. It's like a 3D, you know, very like Monopoly piece type of, I don't know, what else kind of has this aesthetic? I don't know.
I don't really know. What's the little coins? There's some coins underneath the map. You see, they say like TF on them.
What is that? Yeah, TF. The fuck? The fuck coin.
Yeah, what is going on? Like, what is this? I like this. This
has to be a
more questions than it answers.
This has to be a mini game of sorts, surely. That would be cool. I mean,
Tarkov Risk.
You can play this while loading in the raid. Let's go.
That'd be cool. What the hell? And then there's another clip of it here, like pulling people in or out. Why are they different colors?
I don't know, because like
so weird.
So there's like orange is red. I don't know, and then there's like light cyan blue, and then there's like gray. And I was assuming gray is like neutral, red is enemy, and blue is ally. Now those are some bold assumptions, I know, but I don't know what.
What is this? I can't figure out anything of what this might be.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's got to be a mini game because they say unlock it, right?
Yeah.
So presumably it's like it's some type of game feature. What are people on?
Starts on the 22nd. So strange. I don't even know. I can't. Yeah. The helmet. What's the helmet inspection about? Maybe it's just a random cinematic thing that they've done. Can't imagine them actually put helmet inspection in the game.
Battle Pass Season 1. This is from the Given Tarkov Arena Twitter account. 70 plus rewards, including Radian Model 1, unique active headset, refs drop, Lego medals, and many other rewards, as well as the tactical customs map with 30 plus unique rewards, including announcer voiceover by Nikita himself.
Wow. 30 unique rewards as well from the tactical customs map. It must be a minigame. It must be like it's like XCOM but in Tarkov.
Like a battle pass within a battle pass.
They do love their Inception style stuff. It's Targrad Tales all over again.
100.
Did a text-based adventure. Now they're going to do a tabletop
Oh,
turn-based
you're right, actually.
Tarkov game. They've got Escape from Tarkov Arena with Ref. BSG will do everything to make you not play the base game.
And this will be the
Everything
beta
in their power.
testing for their board game, which will also be a
Yes.
beta.
Yeah, testing for this
for,
thing.
for something else, yeah. Uh, so, yeah, okay, so it says 70 plus rewards. And then obviously we had 100 free levels. So is that suggesting 170 total stuff? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
Not
wait,
necessarily,
no, it could just
because
be
you get other things scattered in there.
70 plus rewards, and then later it says the customs map, and that has 30 plus unique rewards.
Yes.
So that adds up
for
to
doing
100,
the customs map thing, whatever that is.
which is probably...
Yeah, current battle pass is level 150. Yeah, you're right. I was looking at chats that people are asking.
Okay, so there's probably like a $50, or not $50, but the other 50 are locked behind premium, presumably.
Maybe like 70 from the season pass, 30 from customs tabletop game. I don't know. I don't even know what we got this tabletop game going on. I'm so flummoxed by this information.
I think it's got to be something you unlock that's like a mini game within itself. I think that's got to be it.
Yeah. Yep. It has to be. It has to be.
Is it?
This is the most confusing trailer ever.
Can you see it right now? Like, is this out right now? I'm confused about that.
I don't think so. Because they haven't actually patched it yet. Well, this is coming on the 22nd. It says 22nd. So this is coming in 2 days. So it's coming on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It says at the end of the trailer. It's like the last bit.
Oh,
the last 4 seconds or something.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really read any.
So it's coming in 2 days' time.
What do you think of this?
So
this armor set cosmetic? It's like a tank top, kind of like punky looking, and then he's got like, I don't know, like motorcycle knee pads and arm pads on.
Yeah, we're getting a bit Mad Max in EFT, but it's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, I think it looks cool.
It's fine. It's fine. So we got the 22nd. We got a week. We got 8 days to grind the battle pass to get the stuff. Then the 30th, Arc Raiders comes out, and then the 15th, Tarkov 1.0 comes out. There you go. We got the next 2 months sorted. It's all good. Yeah.
By 2 months.
Tarkov 1.0 is going to eat. It's going to eat my soul.
It's going to take you a whole month, basically, to do 1.0. Is that what you're saying?
It's just going to consume my life for at least a couple of weeks. That's for sure. Oh, goodness me.
That's interesting.
See, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting just to watch the ShiftW, Chad guys complaining about this like tactical map thing, and then me and all the other nerds are going to be like, "Fanar, I've been waiting for this moment for years."
Mm-hmm.
It's an RTS within Tarkov. I've been training for this all my life. This is literally my bread and butter.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Company of Suka.
Well, cool.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. Anyway, yes. So we'll see about that on Wednesday. I'll probably be playing that, and yeah, we'll see with the Arc Raiders stuff. Looks cool. Looks fun. Enjoyed it. It's good. See how it goes. Yeah. I'm excited. So much to do. I love it.
So much to do. So little time.
Yeah, for sure. But I might be back in my house on Wednesday for the Arena Battle Pass launch. Damn it, it's going to be fantastic.
Whoa. Arena Battle Pass celebration stream.
Got the sparklers out.
Yeah.
Back in my old room again. It's going to be good. Yeah, we're in the final stages. Final few days, so hopefully I can be back. You might have to put up with in the background once or twice, because there's still going to be a few things to do, but at least I'll have electricity. So there you go.
Okay, I'm happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Cool.
I think with that, we'll wrap it up. Conclude this episode. Yep. Thank you everyone for tuning in, your continued support, and we will see you all next week.
Bye-bye.